the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Winemakers. This is Brian Casey with Danielle Langlois, Bart Hansen, Sam Couturi. Sit back, pour yourself a glass, and let's see what we're getting into.
That's the only scripted part of our show.
Maybe not today. That is a fresh wine right there, too. Jasmine, you want to?
Yeah.
Did you bottle that yesterday yourself?
Yes, I did. Well,
yourself.
I was there to taste and make sure the cork was the right height. But Jack does most of that at Magnolia Country. What's it called?
Magnolia Wine Services?
That.
Yes.
But yeah, so this is our EV white blend, the Enrico Valentine line of our wine. Affordable, unique blends made for...
We'll get into all that later.
Okay.
Tell us what's in it.
Semillon, Riesling, what else? Grenache Blanc,
Roussanne.
I think that's it. Because I wouldn't allow Sauvignon Blanc.
Wow.
Nor Bordeaux.
So this is 25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the only thing we've had from 25 has been the rosé.
Right.
And then a sneak peek at a little bit of Semillon.
Nouveau.
Yeah. Cool. Welcome to the Winemakers, everyone. Do a little housekeeping. Number one, happy birthday, Sam.
Yay.
I
Happy
appreciate
birthday.
your priority of order of those things. Thank you.
What did you do yesterday?
I played golf.
Oh, best birthday ever for Sam.
Yeah. Killed Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband his back is done for a couple of days. He's just laying
the
on
wind.
the couch.
It was like 25-mile-an-hour wind out there in Bodega Bay. Hit a ball up in the air and be like, oh, that's perfect. And it just stays there. It falls 10 feet in front of you. Like, that wasn't perfect.
All right. And so that was it? No wine yesterday?
Dinner.
Yeah.
Pesto, pasta, and Italian sausage.
What were you drinking?
We had an Italian. So I had a 2007 Greco de Tufo that I pulled out of somewhere from Lyle Fass.
Nice.
And
Those hold up?
it was probably, you know what? Probably wasn't drinkable 10 years ago. Just like it was great. And then one of those Ida Reds, the Sicilian wines made by the Gaia family that I fucking love.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got Jasmine on the show today. Bart is in
France.
Cruising.
Roussillon, maybe right now, I think, if you go by his Instagram.
It's hard to tell.
Condru, I saw a sign. It was that way. I don't know if they went that way, but
I would go that way. I would be like, hell yeah, let's go over there.
I know. I don't know exactly when he's coming back, but Jasmine Egan sitting on the show today. Let's get events out of the way.
Well, we have other guests.
No, I know. We'll get there.
I'm waiting.
You haven't been on the pod in a while. I've recently tried to get
Apparently I
this
haven't
stuff
either.
out of the way at first because by the end of the show,
Brian's restructuring.
I'm restructuring. So I just want to let people know.
Let's be real. Brian is structuring.
Brian is structuring. June 28th.
Structure to restructure.
June 28th, Red, White, and Rosé. We did have a band change. So Hattie Craven had to bow out gracefully. Luckily, we were able to get Royal Jelly Jive, which if you haven't seen him, give him a ding. I've had the opportunity to see him at the Fairmont a couple times when they would come and play for me a while ago. But they are a funky band. I don't even know how to describe them, but there is
cabaret meets soul meets
and funk.
A little bit of bluesy, little funk.
Yeah.
Tiny
And John
bit of
A, the
rock and
singer, is
roll, yeah.
amazing. And Lemmy plays like accordion. I don't think it's actually an accordion, but it's
He
one
plays
of those.
everything. I've
Yeah,
seen
he
him
does
play
it.
like 10 different instruments in the same set.
So we're going to have a good time. Dusky Estes is doing the food for us. And I think we have over 100.
It's way more.
It's way more than that
It's a
now.
little
There was
scary.
more yesterday.
Don't say the number in case we have limitations
Okay,
on our
so-
building.
in case the fire marshal's listening. We have the exact right amount of people coming.
Totally. Act soon if you want to come to the come to the party. And you can do that by just going on our website or give us a call.
So that's Sunday the 28th. On Friday the 26th.
Oh, right.
Dan and I are having kind of like a soft opening thing over at the Passaggio Wines Tasting House in Glen Ellen. So we're going to have our friend Riley Hill playing some bluegrass. He's great. He's been in a bunch of bands all over Northern California, playing all sorts of bluegrass. And we're going to be doing cheap tasting, so you can come in and taste through all the wines.
Inexpensive.
Value-based. Sorry. Thank you. I'm learning as we go here. Value-based tastings, but no, you'll get a deal. You can come taste all the wines through all of them, or you can just have a glass of your favorite.
Or a bottle.
And then we're doing 20% off all bottle purchases. So we just want to introduce ourselves to the neighborhood and have people come out and see our space and know where we are. So if you're around, come hang out. That's going to be like 5:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Ooh, late night.
Yeah. So come hang out with us. Come say hi, see the space, taste the wines.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Get a little wine, go to dinner.
Come meet Moose. Is Moose coming?
No, Moose will not be there.
Okay.
Will Dan be standing by then is the real question.
I hope so. I mean, that's in 2 weeks. So, yeah.
Well, that's a good spot. There's like a bunch of great restaurants right there too.
Yeah. Songbird's right there.
Yeah.
You could go to Glen Ellen Star, Poppy. Yeah. Come have a glass of wine with us and then go to dinner and have a nice Glen Ellen Friday night.
Yeah.
See, that only took 6 minutes and 24 seconds.
But I think we probably missed some.
Oh, you want to talk about Stanley Mouse Party?
Well, and also July 11th. By the time this launches,
actually, when the show comes out tonight, we will be at the Fairmont doing a takeover of the food truck with Tony Saunders playing.
And it's Pride weekend.
And it's Pride weekend. We are pouring
everywhere
at the General's Daughter and out on the plaza. Yeah.
All right. That's enough.
Which actually they're sold out for the General's Daughter.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah. The Shopkeepers got.
And Shopkeepers got Betty K. Coakley, who I went to Justin Siena with, who's also a famous artist apparently, on Saturday.
The 13th. Yeah. And we'll have our wine there too.
Cool.
Solid 4 activation, 16,600 weekend.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can't get away from us.
All right, so guest today on the show, Lulie Halstead, who we got an opportunity to meet. It wasn't last year. It was the year
3 years ago?
Was it 3 years ago?
Several years ago.
It was still in the Concord.
It was.
Yes.
Oh, boo.
Yes.
I
won't make a comment about that.
To Monterey for one of these because it's
much better. Yeah, I need to get. I need a new
Concord.
invite. I need to come back. Definitely come back next year.
We got to have dinner with you though, and
we did, which was very lovely.
Yeah.
And you all bought some amazing wine. I seem to remember that I got to try, and I turned up with nothing, with the excuse of I'd come from the UK. That was a good excuse, but I don't know whether it washed.
And I have a vineyard in France, but I didn't bring you shit.
I had at the time I had a vineyard in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was doing sparkling, right?
Pinot Noir. We were Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. But I have subsequently, actually recently sold that vineyard. Somebody came along and made an offer.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I was like, I'll take it.
All right, so let's. I mean, you are. I'm going to read your bio.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Globally recognized expert in wine business strategy, consumer insights, and marketing, with over 2 decades of experience shaping the wine industry's research and advisory landscape.
She sounds like she knows what she's doing, doesn't she? That's a bit dangerous.
You are supposedly widely regarded as one of the most influential and entertaining minds in wine today, blending strategic insight with practical marketing advice.
Did you write this?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Lulie is a bridge between academia, industry, and consumer insights. with a career defined by innovation, leadership, and deep commitment to advancing the wine and drink sectors. Thank you for all of that.
Well, you are very welcome. I'm now very nervous about the expectation, because that's a very nice intro. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And also has a podcast.
I do, yes, with the wonderful Felicity Carter.
Yeah.
Where we hammer it out every time with the two of us with very different, often opinions, but we give it a go to try and discuss the big questions in our sector.
Yeah. And I listened to the last podcast, which gave me some ideas for this show, because I thought it was great that you kind of took on the what's going on in the wine industry and then took opposing positions.
Yes.
So I thought today we could talk about them. Well, let's
Fabulous.
Were those, before you say you have different opinions, were you naturally in the two sides of this camp, or did you like
That's a really
have
good
to sort of
question.
like,
I
or was this like debate class where you...
Typically, genuinely, we express our own views from the two different sides. So
Right.
there are many times where Felicity and I will have some variance in view, and we kind of all try to be authentic to that. There are obviously times where we also go, okay, if we were going to argue the case for or against this, how could we do it? What could be the arguments? What could be said? So it's a bit of both, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't a brawl.
No, that would be quite fun.
Yeah, actually, and they play really well off each other. So, welcome to Sonoma.
Thank
number
you.
one.
It's very nice to be back here.
I know this is not a normal thing.
Yeah,
for you to be-
I tend to get over here 2 or 3 times a year.
Who do you,
Yeah.
what do you do while you're here?
So I work with a number of clients where I'm kind of helping the leadership teams, the boards, sort of on advisory on business strategy, marketing strategy, and brand strategy.
Yeah.
So just really sort of leaning in, rolling sleeves up, working alongside the teams. You know, how do we get the best from the wine business that they have?
And is this like some larger wineries that we would know? Are you allowed to talk about who you do
I
this for?
typically don't talk about the clients themselves, because obviously some of the work I'm doing with them is a little bit more confidential. But in more broad terms, yes, some of the larger size wineries, but also mid-size as well.
Okay.
You know, and I kind of really enjoy working with the smaller and mid-sized wineries, because it's a smaller team, it's a smaller leadership team. We're kind of more on the same side of the table, trying to solve the same challenges collectively. There's less hierarchy, less politics with a small p that one gets often in larger organizations.
Yeah.
So I guess
Preach.
you just kind of have more impact. I think I can have more impact. And see results and work with teams to see those results.
So this is cool because we do a podcast. We're getting this for free. we just invited to sit around a table, and we are getting all of your expert advice at no cost.
Well, a couple of glasses of wine that you're serving.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take
Fee in
notes.
wine.
So what I did is I came up with the 10 reasons why the wine industry is supposedly in decline. And I thought we would just go through them one by one. And we have a lot of different opinions at this table. And as we were talking about before we started the show, we all come from a different perspective as well, because I think our attitudes are very different from the Jackson family and the Gallo people. And even our needs and our positions are very different. And our abilities very different. So I think a lot of times when we're at the DTC Symposium and they're talking about marketing, sometimes we feel like it doesn't always relate to what we're doing. So I think this will be a good opportunity for us to kind of see our position on things as opposed to larger, which sounds like what you've been doing the past few days.
And we'll come on to it. But I would say the principles and the practice, I don't think it matters whether you're 300 cases or 30,000 cases or 300,000 cases. I still think the principles on how do we grow our businesses profitably remain the same.
Cool. No, that's perfect. All right, so let's get into it. What do you guys want me to list them, or you guys want to guess what they are? And we'll check them
That's
off?
mean.
All right, let's do number 1, the sober curious movement, how younger generations are drinking significantly less alcohol than previous cohorts, with many actively practicing moderation or full sobriety. So total bullshit. You think you see that in your own life?
I absolutely see that.
Where?
Same.
I have I have a family where my parents were divorced and then remarried, and they had kids. So I have half siblings that are 10 years younger than me. And yeah, both of them barely drink, and one of them doesn't drink at all, and not because either of them have had problems with it, just because they don't like the way it makes them feel, or they find their life better without it. And then I also have cousins who are my age who are moving past it as well. And then people are getting more into like other things like psychedelics and
Ooh.
Finally.
yeah, it's just I see it shifting, but I've definitely experienced it out there. And I also feel very uncomfortable with trying to make people drink alcohol who don't want to drink alcohol.
Well, why would you do that?
Well, this is considered a problem in the wine industry, right? And so like emails that I've seen are like, how do we get people back to drinking? And it's like,
Like forcing them to drink.
Like,
Right. Instead of attracting the
No.
people who already drink.
yes, yeah.
And
yeah.
just to your label and over someone else's.
Or also just saying, like you don't have to drink wine to, get drunk or feel the like buzz effects or whatever. You can just drink wine because you like it and you can talk about it and you can sit around a table, but you can have one glass of wine. You don't have to have 8.
See that? And I love signing up younger people that come here in the tasting room, and I've checked IDs 3 times in the last 2 weeks because people were so young, and they were like 22,
Hear that, ABC?
23. And I love when we sign people up for Wine Club, and when you're signing people up, there's a drop down thing on the birth date.
Yeah.
And I love when I don't have to scroll. So that's when I always like give myself like if I had a bell, I would ring the bell because it just pops up and I'm like, oh yeah, 1994. Sweet.
2001. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Oh
totally.
yeah, we're into the 2000s.
Oh man, I get stoked when I get a 2000. I'm like, yeah.
See, and my daughter's 17, so I don't have any frame of reference on it. But Jasmine, you hang out with like people that are younger than myself.
Yes.
But-
I'm in a very diverse point of view in that a lot of my friends are in the wine industry, so obviously we're all drinking, but my friends from other parts of my life, they're not drinking anymore.
Really?
And some like ex-restaurant people aren't drinking anymore.
Reasons?
They wanted families, and they didn't want to be what their parents were. I've had 2.
What does that explain that?
I mean, I don't know. My mom actually stopped drinking when I was 3. So it's not like it's a brand new thing. But, when Ian Blessing decided to get sober, it was because I have a kid. I can't be hungover with my kid. One of my girlfriends in Santa Cruz, she's like, yeah, I want a different life. And it was taking over. But I mean, in the restaurant world, this was a restaurant where we were drinking at work, drinking off of work, drinking before work. Like it was, I understand why these people went in that direction. But I like to just focus on, I think it's really important to be aware of what you're putting in your body. You should not be putting herbicide drenched fruit in your body. You should not be drinking weed killer. Like it's not really a good thing to do. So I just always preach organic farming and trying to find fruit that's grown where it's supposed to grow, the way it's supposed to be grown.
And I think we'll get to that later when we talk about the top 10 things that we can be doing better to bring people into drinking. I think that's actually one of them is.
Yeah. And I can even see it at like
farming.
family functions. My mom's side of the family, we're all really, really close. And all the cousins that are 30s and up drink, and all the cousins that are under 30 are definitely not. Huh. It's been interesting.
Sam?
I don't know. I don't hang out with anybody that doesn't drink.
That doesn't drink. Right.
I mean, I think to Jasmine's point, people are being more conscious about the things that they're consuming. period. I don't know the stats. Maybe Lulie is somebody who can tell us things like that, but does research and such.
Yep.
But I don't know. Are people eating as much like shitty junk food as they used to?
No.
Right? So if you're being more conscious about what you're consuming, probably don't consume as much shitty alcohol. Yeah. Like that is fine with me. I don't have I'm not out here trying to get people back to drinking more crap. Drink more better.
All right, let's talk about numbers, Lulie. I didn't ask you to bring your
my
stats,
notes with me.
I figure you've got a pretty good handle on it.
Yeah, and I think if we look at the data evidence from younger consumers, so if we're talking about Gen Z here, obviously of legal drinking age, just drop that one in there, be responsible, of legal drinking age, what we're finding is that actually there is a decline in the proportion of Gen Zs or younger consumers, younger millennials who are consuming alcohol. But actually the data shows that drop is not as significant as maybe the examples or the personal experience that we're declaring around the table here. I would say, are all in our kind of bubble because we're wine industry people.
That's
and because
important.
you guys are based where you are here in the glorious sort of Sonoma region. And so there are, specifics. If we're, talking kind of downtown Atlanta or Detroit, or we're moving around the world to, parts of suburbs of London or wherever, and we're talking about consumers in general, there is less of a consciousness about what we're eating, wellness, health, than we would find in certain pockets of the world. So I think we have to kind of calibrate that a little bit, our own, myself included, view of the world versus the regular wine drinker or consumer view of the world, which can be a little bit different. But back to the Gen Z and younger millennials, the evidence says there is some reduction in the total amount or proportion of those people who consume alcohol. But actually the main difference is that they're consuming less frequently. So there are fewer occasions. So, I'm old. So back in my day, it's 4 or 5 occasions a week for socializing. Now that might be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So that's where the volume drop is coming from, is because it's that frequency. And then at the occasions, the frequency is reducing. So, the not 5 glasses, the 1, or the whatever that proportion is. But that's the real difference, is it's that primarily that frequency of occasion and volume of consumption per occasion.
Yeah, and you guys talked about that on your podcast. I remember that it was centered around dinner, how the routines and habits around eating dinner even. And I wish that I could find stats on how many people actually sit down at a dinner table and break it down by, age groups, like people under 40. How many people actually sit down with their husband, girlfriend, wife, significant other and stare across the table at each other and eat dinner? And how many people are sitting on a couch having DoorDash something show up at their house? Because I think our habits totally changed, and I think the pandemic sped it up a little bit because everyone learned that they could get things delivered to their house. And you see it in restaurants, right? A lot of restaurants closing. I mean, the margins are already thin, but then if people aren't going out to eat, you're not creating those social occasions where people are opening up a bottle of wine, if not a gin and tonic or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't have that data, and it's a really good one. I'm now going to look that up, see if I can find it somewhere to come back to you on it, about the occasions, the sort of the at-home dining. But if you think of how our lifestyle has shifted, I guess is what I'm thinking about that, which is, maybe going to the gym in the evening, maybe working from home. So your whole mealtime kind of routine shifts and changes, doesn't it? If you're socializing with friends, I do know from the evidence that we're seeing a earlier dining and socializing time globally. Now, clearly for me being from the UK, I still find it
Spain
weird
is
that
probably
American
skewing those
restaurants
numbers.
open at 5 o'clock. I'm like, what are you doing? It's 5
If not
o'clock.
earlier around
It's
here.
still like
Yeah.
we've only just finished lunch. But proportionally, again, if you look in lots of countries, that mealtime, evening mealtime and evening socializing is becoming early. Very silly way of saying it, but what we call the kind of day part is moving earlier. So that has a kind of impact, doesn't it? I guess on what we're drinking and what we're choosing to drink if we're socializing and eating in different ways.
I think that's funny because Sam and I always joke whenever we're going to meet up for dinner and we're like, are we going to in farmer's hours dinner? Right. Like, we're trying to be in bed before dark. Is that cool with you? And Sam's always like, thank God, yes.
Yeah.
And what about
How early is too early? 5:30?
entertainment being better
Yes.
at home? Like the streaming services, you have access to all these different movies and shows now, whereas so you're kind of like locked in on the television, whereas before maybe you were listening to music, different social.
Yeah, and I guess that's
habits.
part of sort of shifting, doesn't it? It shifts how and when we view food and socializing, which if we kind of go back to the point you were making there, which is wine primarily has been metaphorically and literally the center of that table and that dining and that food and that sharing experience. And if that is shifting, I guess there's no surprise that the role of wine therefore is changing, has changed. And I guess the big question is, are we keeping up with it?
Right. All right, let's move on to aging demographics. Baby boomers, who have historically been the largest demographic of regular wine consumers, are aging out of frequent alcohol consumption. I'm going to jump right in and say that, I mean, what can you say to that? It's
Doctor's orders.
it's science. They are getting older. And I've seen that as well with people that are getting older that have either have full cellars or they're just not drinking as much. I think I would say that one is totally true. And you probably know numbers on what we're losing in the industry when we're losing baby boomers is probably pretty significant.
Yeah, well, as a sort of generational cohort, obviously baby boomers were the demographic that really took wine to where it is now in terms of volume globally.
Yeah,
so
were
it
the
was
ones...
I mean, clearly we had in France and Italy and other countries where there was already that wine culture.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at a sort of global perspective, that wine culture really came with that generation. And a lot of it was about access, opportunity, money, ways of externalizing that kind of sort of increase in cultural sophistication, and the starting of I think the quality of the wine or of wine being consistent. Whereas before, if you're drinking your local co-op wine from down in the Languedoc, then great if you're in the Languedoc and you're putting it in your bonbon to take to your house down the road. Not so great if you're trying to export it because it's not built for that.
Yeah.
So we had such a revolution, didn't we? You guys know way better than I do. Such a revolution in terms of winemaking quality and preservation that came as boomers were aging into being able to afford wine, that those two things kind of coalesce to make this boom that we saw.
And they were the collectors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had space because they had a home and they were able to, they would come in and buy 3 cases of wine to put in their cellar. Yeah.
And I mean, just in general, like I think of China, like, and just like I feel like that's a generation of just collecting in general. I don't know.
I mean, like dishes.
Dishes, like
Yeah.
China.
Plates. The Chinese market
China platter,
for wine.
China
Yes,
patterns.
no, I'm with you.
Like,
Sorry.
yes, they are drinking more wine.
No,
every
like
night.
I just think of like my parents' garage, and it's stresses me out already. I just like, there's just like, she can cater a wedding from just stuff she's collected over years. It's just like that and like, she's like, you're always purging. I'm like, yes, less.
Wow. I didn't even think of that minimalism as being one of the
millennials
reasons.
are millennialists. Like
Right.
like, get out of here. I want an experience. I don't want more. I keep telling them like, stop buying me items, consumables only, please. Like
there's actually a good book. My mom's 78. She reads a book, and you have to give up a certain amount of things throughout the year. It's like 3 months where she gives up 1 thing in week 1, 2 things in week 2, 3 things in week 3, and
That's very
she
organized.
Empties out her house.
I don't have that much structure in my life.
I'm gonna give up giving up things week 3, I think. I give up.
You're like, wait a minute, I got nothing else to give.
I got nothing.
You're not taking my couch.
I know. I'm just thinking now. It's just like that. If you keep going multiplying that, you're going to end up with not very much
what's
quite
left.
quickly.
I think that's the idea. You end up as a Buddhist.
Yeah.
I just wait till the podcast is good or the audiobook and just purge. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this one kind of we talked.
Can I say one thing about Boom?
Please.
We are constantly reminded that this is the 50th anniversary of the Judgment of Paris. And you think about the boomer cohort as they came of age buying wine, how big, especially American wine, all of a sudden became 50 years ago. You talk about your mom, 78. She was 28 years old when that happened. Like, that was the beginning of many people's careers. They're making money. They have families. All of a sudden, wine is a thing that it never, ever was before, sort of on a global scale. So, you think that's 50 years. Maybe we can put a bookend and stop talking about that now.
There you go. Heightened health consciousness would be number 3. Stricter public health messaging, including guidelines that suggest no level of alcohol is safe, which goes back and forth every day.
It seems like there was one yesterday that was not true, and then one today in the wine business.
I don't know. And
people are still smoking, and cigarettes cost like $25 a pack in California. So,
I thought that was an interesting comparison when talking about health benefits, that smoking, that there's a whole industry out there that is still, I guess, trying to get people to smoke, but then something that people know is bad for them, but they continue to smoke with.
Well, and like Zins are really popular now too.
Yeah.
And like it went from cigarettes to vapes, and now it's Zins, and it's just like, and then Diet Coke is a whole thing now. They call them fridge cigs.
That's the thing of
that's my algorithm's so weird right now. I'm like, I don't drink soda unless it's soda water mixed with something else. But yeah, it's been interesting to see that coming up back. Like, I thought aspartame was dead, so I don't.
Well, red wine used to be the healthy thing for a while, right? It had its minute where it was, I don't know if it was resveratrol or whatever it was, that they would tell you it was actually good to drink 1 glass of wine a day.
Yeah, and it got all kind of linked sort of culturally, didn't it, into the Mediterranean diet and the idea that,
the French paradox,
heart health and
Blue zones or whatever those are.
and all of that. And I think that definitely had a positive impact. But I would have to just quote this one to Felicity, my podcast co-host, because she brought it up when we were discussing this topic. But I thought she made a really interesting point, which is often the health lobbies now, when they're talking anti-alcohol and no safe levels, are using visually red wine as the visual rather than other types of alcohol. And I was asking Felicity about this. I was like, yeah, I keep seeing that. Why is that being done? And she made a really good point, which was because red wine was seen as the better for you alcoholic beverage. So if you're going to try and shift from a behavioral point of view, kind of public sentiment, then kind of attacking red wine is the best way from a public health lobby point of view to get that message across. Like, don't go after, vodka's not that great for you, because kind of people understand that. But if you start
what
attacking
about
red
beer?
wine,
I mean, everybody drinks freaking beer.
And it's huge
Winemakers drink beer.
Riverside contaminants. Yeah, I saw the numbers on that recently, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
On herbicides and beer.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
all that.
Oh yeah, Coors was one of the
Coors is
worst
number one,
polluters
yeah.
in Colorado.
Yeah,
I grew up realizing that when I studied environmental science, and I was like, oh man, fuck those guys.
So on the hops, you mean they're spraying all kinds of stuff?
yeah.
Oh yeah, gross stuff.
And
and
it's
all the
something you
grains.
can. It's not like wine where it's like once a year at this moment. It's all of the
continuous.
time.
Right.
So it's just way more damage.
And who puts out the reports that say
WHO.
wine is either? I mean, obviously, if they say it's good for you, that's the wine industry putting it out. But if they say that it's not good for you, who's putting out these reports that we see every once in a while?
Again, Felicity's area of expertise rather than mine on that particular topic, but there are multiple lobbying groups globally, some of whom are, from my understanding, kind of connected into temperance, effectively the temperance or roots of branches of the temperance movement.
Yeah.
And they're relatively thinly veiled, some of the reports that are coming out. One could suggest that some of the academic research coming out is slanted towards or funded by, again, not naming any names, some of the more temperance movement type organizations. So there is you've got attack from multiple sides.
Why aren't you naming names? Because I think that, especially people who are out here reading these things and seeing them, if there's organizations that are basically temperance organizations that are helping push these agendas, who should we be looking out for?
So we should, again, I would defer to
Felicity.
to Felicity and my podcast co-host on this one, because she has written.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would say, is she's written and researched really heavily in this area. So I would point to look at and she's looked at it from all sides. So what she is trying to do is to just take all of this evidence and particularly uncovering some of these links back to temperance movements, to really try and understand what's happening there. But at a more generic level, you've got government from the health lobby point of view, and then you've got temperance movement from a cultural point of view. So we've got these sort of two-prong attack.
And the temperance movement, like for people that don't know what that means, what does that mean? The temperance.
How we got prohibition.
Right. But what is their motivation? So like in their eyes, people drinking alcohol is bad because
It's the devil.
Yeah.
Well, I think a bunch of wives and children used to get beat when people were drinking a bunch of brown liquor, right? So that's where the temperance movement came
domestic
from.
abuse. You think it goes back to that. And then if it's
There's domestic
religious,
abuse, it's driving. It's
the mad moms.
Mad moms. There's a
that
lot.
I understand.
And then you look at like certain states that you can't ship to. Like it's a whole state with people that don't.
A lot of religion.
Like people that don't even drink alcohol are making laws about alcohol, which I think is not okay.
So maybe Church of Latter-day Saints is behind some of the research.
There's a
That's
ton
one
of
state.
them. Yeah. There's a lot of religions that don't promote alcohol, like
Not the Catholics.
not the Catholics.
Or the Jews.
No, or the Jews.
Or the Jews.
No,
the
but
big one. So I guess
like Mormons,
Islam,
Muslim,
Muslim.
it's even like Baptist, even Episcopalian, you can make that argument. Yeah, like Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm sure there's a little bit there. Like it's I'm seeing church and state not be as separated as it should be, more and more. And so, I mean, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in our school.
A good point.
Yeah,
It's a good point.
Like,
Yes.
It's
I'm all for the. Yeah, never mind.
Separate more, please.
Separate more, please. Yeah, like they're trying to get things in school and trying to have one religion that they're focusing on instead of all these other. Like we're supposed to be a melting pot, we're supposed to be multicultural. But that's just my 2 cents.
Okay. I just wonder, like, what is it like? If they don't want us to drink, what do they want us to do instead?
Pray.
Okay.
It's control. It's all about
right.
control.
Take the money that you were going to spend on alcohol and give it to the church.
Got it.
That doesn't pay taxes.
All right. Anything else? We're moving on. Number 4, GLP-1.
We're gonna get some comments on this
medication
one.
impact. So popular weight loss and anti-craving medications like Ozempic, Wegovy have been shown to significantly curb alcohol consumption and cravings for patients. What percentage of people do you think in California are on one of these drugs? What if you had to guess?
Oh, I have no idea.
65%.
Oh, God.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay, I was expecting a big number, but not that big number.
Maybe in Los Angeles.
35%.
10.
Because you have to have access to healthcare, right? Which kind of limits. So maybe California has got to be higher than a lot of other places, but
And they're
I would say-
expensive. If you're not, they're
and
not.
it's expensive,
expensive,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, I'm going 3%.
I think you were
What do you
right with
think?
10. Yeah.
Again, looking at it varies depending on which data source you're looking at. It varies between about 7 or 8% to 15% of the
Wow.
population, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
But I think there's a really important differentiation that we have to keep in mind when we're talking about that, which is those that are using people who are using GLP-1s prescribed for medical reasons such as diabetes or other conditions, who typically are not heavier drinkers of alcohol in the first place because they have underlying medical conditions. And then we have a separate cohort who are people who are choosing to use the GLP-1 medications primarily for weight loss or life health style reasons. And what's super interesting is when you dig into the data is that cohort, which I'm more interested in, obviously, from how does it play in with alcohol and consumption and wine, typically are heavier drinkers of wine. But typically the evidence is increasingly coming through that they still are drinking wine, just not as much or as frequently.
Yeah.
So that then goes to if I am drinking wine, what we're hearing from that cohort of users of GLP-1s is, I want a really good wine.
Yeah.
When I want wine, I'm only going to have 1 or 2
Do it
glasses
right.
here.
Yeah, good for us.
And if I'm going to, there is, life's too short for crap wine at that point.
Yeah.
Now, that's not saying clearly all people on GLP-1 who were drinkers still carry on drinking wine, because some people don't. But the evidence is beginning to come through. And it's a tough one, isn't it? Because we haven't had many years to understand what the impact is.
Yeah.
It is relatively new as a sort of broad spectrum opportunity for people to use GLP-1s for choice reasons as opposed to requirement for health reasons.
Yeah.
Well, I think the socioeconomic factors in that play a lot, because if you're choosing to use those drugs and paying for them, you're
it's
also
a lot of
somebody
money.
who could probably be paying for wine and buying expensive wine, or going out to dinner and buying 2 or 3 bottles and the steaks. And now maybe those habits shift in ways that affect the wine industry and the restaurant industry maybe more acutely than sort of in a broader, cultural, societal way.
Yeah, that one, I think there's a lot of different ways you can look at the numbers for it. Yeah. It's kind of like, remember when they used to say that there was a higher incidence of breast cancer in Marin County than anywhere else in the country, and then someone
Because they go to the doctor
and said that they have money, and so they all go to the doctor and
To get screened.
and they get screened.
Yeah.
So it's hard to look at the
Yeah.
data and
Right.
kind of figure out exactly what's going on by that. People that are diabetic. So my cousin just asked me this the other day. She's diabetic, and we were having a conversation out on the back deck about ingredients lists in wines, and she was totally clueless. She's like, "What? What do you? I thought it was just grapes that you guys put in
Squashed
wine."
grapes.
Right. And
You always
she's
say
like,
that. Yeah,
I'm diabetic. She's like, do people add sugar to wine? And I said, actually, they do.
yeah.
And she's like, well, how am I supposed to know that? I'm diabetic.
Yeah.
They need to tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's such a normal statement from consumers. It's like, everybody not everyone, many wine consumers globally have the same image, which is we go along and we pull lovely bunches of grapes from sunny vineyards, because they're always sunny. There's always some mountains in the background, often a dog, and particularly a red tractor.
Yes.
And we go along on our little red tractor and we pull bunches off, and then we put them into a big barrel. We squash them, and then we put them into a big barrel, and then we leave it, and then we turn a tap and we hold a bottle underneath, and we.
That's what Jasmine was doing yesterday.
Yeah. And that's what wine is. So why would you think as a consumer that there's anything else in it?
Yeah.
Why? That's not us going, oh, aren't consumers stupid? Of course they're not stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that feels like what that product is.
Well, I also think that we're just waking up to what's in our food as well. I mean, we used to think the same thing about French fries, right? Or the same thing about, our chips, right? It's potatoes, and you cut them up and you fry them and you put salt. Yeah. And it's like,
and then you see the ingredients.
And now you're seeing the ingredients lists. And
I'm thinking about like when Adam Lee took his wine and I think probably Miami Pinot or something like that, and sent samples to ETS to show like how much, technically dry wine, how much sugar is in.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And it was like insane. It was basically
28 grams.
It was like it was like
really?
It was like Coca-Cola levels sugar in a bottle of Miami Pinot, as opposed to his. I think it's Business Signal or Dial Tone. I can't remember the name of his like screw cap.
We love you, Adam.
Love you, Adam. I don't buy that wine or any. That's not true. But certainly not screw top Pinot Noir made in California. Sorry, I love you, Adam. We really do. But his wine was like dry. And whatever the example was
pretty ridiculous.
It was like insane. And those are the wines that unfortunately are the mass produced, available everywhere, that people then
guess what people
think
like
of as wine. Coca-Cola.
They drink it and they're like, this tastes great because they drink it and it tastes like sugar, and their brain says, yes, please, more of this.
So there's a warning label, right, that we all have to put on our bottles of wine for pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have to put anything if you're a diabetic, and let's say my cousin went to the store and grabbed a bottle of Miami Pinot Noir, like she wouldn't know.
Or if you're vegan and there's...
We don't care about people after they're born. Yeah. Don't you know
that? All right. I'm not going down that.
I'll get fired up.
Yeah, how do you feel? I kind of know how we feel about ingredients lists here, because around here, the people that don't add stuff into their wine want ingredients lists on the wine, and it's the people that put a bunch of shit in them that don't want them. But what's the position globally?
I think again, from sort of, if I'm particularly thinking about EU, for example, which is looking at and moving towards ingredients labeling.
I would think they would be in there. Yeah.
And I think from, if I sort of think about it from the perspective of a consumer, to the points that you were all just making there, it's kind of got to be a good thing. And I guess my instinct is that it's inevitable. Because to your point that you were making about, we're all becoming more aware of what's in our food. We're more used to looking at ingredients lists. It's kind of, we've got to go there on wine, haven't we?
And wouldn't that be great for smaller producers? Because the larger places that are manipulating their wines every year to make sure they taste exactly the same would either have to do that, and people might get turned off by some of the things they see on the ingredients list, or they would just have to actually make better wine. And it probably wouldn't make sense at the scale that they're doing. They'd have to raise their prices. That would be an interesting shift.
Yeah, and I think it's a really I think it's an inevitability. That would be my prediction. Yeah. Don't quote me on
5
that.
years, 10 years.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I'm going to try and be quite loose on that one.
I just think of when I was in France, and this was 2019, and all the wines had the bio stickers on it, so you knew what was organic really easily, and that was like super common. Every grocery store I was in, every wine shop, like it was like labeled organic with like a sticker. So I don't know if there is an easier process over there or less expensive, probably, but that was like pretty like obvious when I was in grocery stores in France.
We talk about this all the time, that it shouldn't be that you should have to do that.
No,
it
they
should be people that are putting chemicals and pesticides in them, and should have to have a sticker with skull and crossbones on it, like cigarette packs.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh man, cigarette packs in the UK are nuts.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, for the next one, we're leaning right into you.
Okay.
Competition from cannabis. The legalization and normalization of cannabis across many regions, including California, have created a strong substitute for the evening wind down occasion. And I'm always like, why can't we do both?
I call strong bullshit on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
because
that...
I'm not challenging. I'm just really interested.
I think that, well, I mean, maybe there is more access to cannabis products and they're more diversified than they used to be. However, I think that most of the people who use those products had access to cannabis no matter what beforehand. And
legal or not.
And just like it was widespread. And I think saying, oh, well, people are not drinking because they're eating their gummies or drinking their cannabis drink or smoking their vape pens when they get home. It's like, well, yeah, but that person was not drinking and smoking a joint before it was legal. I don't know. I don't see this one.
So I
mean, maybe the numbers are, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the numbers prove me wrong, but
well, maybe just
also like they're, smoking a joint and drinking a glass of wine is a really great thing to do together.
You're talking about flour.
Yes.
Smoking a joint.
Flour. Pre-run, the kids call it now.
Right. So, which I can see. Most of us have figured out we can smoke first, drink after, or drink first, smoke after. Sometimes the combination of doing one before the other. I've figured out my particular combination, but I think it's a good combination. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about gummies and like THC drinks, I think it's a different conversation.
I mean, I would make the argument that people didn't know how to relax with weed that turned to alcohol for that, might have new exposure and might just be turning to that. But I don't think it's taking up, I don't know. I do both. I love both.
Right.
So I was in New York a couple of weeks ago.
Where everything smells like weed now.
Oh my God.
That's just what I was about to say.
It's crazy.
Oh my, I was about to say blown away, but that's really the wrong phrase to use at this point. Oh God. I was surprised. There we go. Just extraordinary. Yeah. I mean, you literally couldn't walk down a street. You can't walk anywhere outside in New York City now without just being overwhelmed by the smell of weed. And
I used to try and hide it so much when we would walk through New York. We'd like ducking into alleyways and door frames.
Are people smoking joints or people smoking
joints? Drapes. I saw both.
Yeah.
It's just like a constant smell as you're walking around Manhattan.
It's pretty predominant.
It was wild. Like the first time I went back after the pandemic, like got out of Penn Station, I was like, whoa, somebody's smoking some weed. That's cool. And then like a minute later, I was like, oh, well, everybody's smoking weed. And then the next day, I was literally like, there was a guy sitting down with a basket on like selling dime bags, basically, looked like. And then there was a cop talking to him. I'm like, oh, that guy's about to get busted. And then the cop just like dapped him up, and then like walked away. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I did not complaining, obviously, but
well, at the U.S. Open, the tennis tournament, like a couple years ago, they were saying that there was a lot of people complaining, players were complaining about the smell of pot.
In like on the court?
They said it just was all over the complex.
Well, Arthur Ashe. Never mind.
Give him a ding for that one.
No, please don't.
I mean, I think that smoking weed should be treated like cigarettes. I don't think you should be smoking weed in public places.
Oh, hot take.
Well, because
does your husband know this?
Yeah, he does, and it really it fucks with my sinuses, and it makes me feel sick when I inhale secondhand smoke, whether it be weed or cigarettes.
I mean, I think that's valid. Someone smoking a
so like when an athlete is trying to perform at like their maximum level, playing for the U.S. Open championship, they shouldn't have to like inhale people's secondhand vape.
Worked for Phelps.
He didn't smoke when he was swimming. He just smoked weed in somebody's dorm room, which is totally allowed.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Number 6, fierce RTD and THC competition, booming market for RTD is ready to drink canned cocktails, hard seltzers, and THC infused beverages has siphoned off the younger, convenience driven drinkers.
Absolutely.
I have never had a ready to drink cocktail. That is
great.
good. just
So you're
throwing it
not
out
opposed
there.
to it. They're just not doing a good job of holding your.
I've had some good ones. There's some good Bloody Mary ones.
I've had some really good ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get shopping in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a good
OTR.
brownie one.
Brands,
I've had a
they're
good
brilliant.
Jameson one. Yeah.
Honestly, they're brilliant. The select. Well, I'm not just thinking about what's available in the UK. Obviously, that's what I know better. But travel lots and always sort of trying new drinks wherever I am. Absolutely, there's, and it depends on your flavor profile, doesn't it? Just because I like that one and you might not like it, or vice versa. I think that the point on this is that what RTDs are doing is giving a selection of flavors, so you can find the one you like. Selection of brand positioning, so you can find a brand that you want to be associated with and that you like. And the main things are they're just bloody convenient.
Yes.
The actual price point, so the headline price point, we're spending $3, $4, $5, $6, whatever it is, as opposed to 20, 30 or 40. That's a lot more convenient. It also means that I get to choose, I want to drink that and you can drink that, and we might have alcohol
that's a
or
huge part of it.
That's a great
non-alcohol,
point. Yeah.
and we can all enjoy whatever it is we want to enjoy, which is why I bang on about a lot wine in cans for that reason.
Yeah. They're delicious.
Oh, that doesn't quite have the same
They might have the
impact,
same
does it?
ding.
No.
And I think a lot of people that drink cocktails drink wine. So there's kind of a, I don't think it's that
thank
they're
you. That's
drinking
much
one or
better.
the other. And like we drink sometimes the OTR on the rocks cocktails when we go to the Fairmont for live music, because it's so easy for
It's
them
easy.
to just put them at the little tiny bar outside. But sometimes we will go inside because we want a cocktail
martini.
that's made specifically for us.
I think I just like different cocktails. I don't like just like, a
Cold liquor.
Old fashioned, Negroni,
I'm
margarita,
like, I like
cosmopolitan.
I want a
lemon
margarita,
drop.
but I want like a spicy margarita that was like
Jalapeno
They have that in
margarita.
mixed with
Yeah.
I think
jalapenos.
that this is exactly right here is what this is about. And Lulie, you talked about it's the choice thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've seen the shift in restaurants. John Toolsey was talking about it.
The complete flip.
The flip from wine to cocktails. You have 5 people at a table. We could order a bottle of wine, which means we all have to agree on what we're drinking together, or we can get 5 different cocktails, or like a glass of this and a non-alcoholic that, and then you can have the second round and you can go completely different. You can have like a whole different round of things and flavors and experiences. And I think that is the driver of this, is that like choice and options and not having to have the same thing that everybody else is having at your table.
Yeah, that's right. You do have to agree when you order
have to
a bottle
agree.
of wine at
Or
the
you have
table.
to,
You
like,
got to get a,
Deferred,
consensus,
You have to have
Yeah.
somebody at the table who you trust enough to order a bottle of wine that everybody's going to like. I mean, there's that whole like the fear factor element of that too, where you don't know if you order a $50 bottle of wine or a $150 bottle of wine at a restaurant, that
Whether
if
you're gonna
whether
like
you're going
it.
to like it,
And it's a
everybody's
lot of
going
money.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of
Yeah, there's a
money.
lot of
Yeah.
commitment there,
Especially at
Where
restaurants.
You could have 5 different cocktails at $17 a piece. They're all going to add. It's going to add up to the same amount of money at the end of the night, but you have more control and more assurance that what you're going to get, you're going to like.
yeah, it's like family style meal.
Right.
Or you can all order your
Right,
own
and
thing.
then and somebody's always going to eat like 3 more pieces of steak than you're going to get, and you're going to have they're going to have 1 more glass of
looking
wine
at
out of
me
that.
when you say
I don't know.
Sam is not a fan of splitting the bill evenly, apparently.
Well, I like the cans and the RTD stuff. What I don't like is going to a Giants game and paying $18 for a margarita in a can.
Yeah.
Especially since I've been
Wow.
a beverage buyer and I know,
You know
how much
exactly
they
how
cost.
much, yeah.
At $18, make my fucking margarita right in front of me.
True.
But
Splash a little extra tequila in. Yeah, something for fuck's sake.
all right, moving on. Inflation and high costs. Now, I thought this should be number 1. Tightened consumer budgets due to inflation have made wine, especially mid-tier and premium bottles, a luxury that is often cut from the grocery list. I think this is a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
last time you filled up your gas tank, I mean,
right? Economics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it got quiet because everyone's
because there's nothing.
No, I was
bummed.
mainly because I was just drinking some wine, actually. So,
we can get you a
blurting out.
cold one of those, by the way.
It's actually pretty pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cellar temp.
It's all blood orangey at this temperature. I love it.
Yeah, I think younger people don't have as much money. The dream of buying a house is basically gone.
It's
They're
becoming
not
more
even-
of a dream
Totally.
by the day.
And they're not even
And
having
again, that's not
kids.
just here in the US, everywhere. It's the same pattern.
Yeah.
Which
And
To
you're
be able to do that on a
surviving.
single income. Yeah.
yeah, can you imagine that now?
No, I can't
I mean,
imagine
it
like
seems-
working at a grocery store like a Sears and
It seems
being able to buy a
absurd, doesn't
house,
it?
have a car,
And
like,
3 kids.
let
yeah,
alone being like a teacher,
yeah.
right? The
Oh my
teachers.
gosh.
How many teachers of my kids' teachers? None of them live in.
I don't think teachers
Sonoma.
could ever buy houses.
No.
No, teachers were buying houses in Sonoma. There was a time when the teachers in Sonoma that had houses. They lived here. They lived in town. They owned the homes. You know, grew up with
That's
their kids.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like coming out of World War II and then before the start of deregulation in the 80s with Reagan. There was like a sweet spot where you could actually have
So
a
glad that
house,
this conversation has
have a
eventually come back to
car.
blaming Reagan, because that's true. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just like it's where,
I
where
think it's
But no, like I think of my friend that's a teacher and she's a waitress at night and she does summer school every year. And yes, her kids get to do all the things. They're in a bunch of sports, each of them, but like it's hard. And her husband's a cook.
And they're
like,
renters.
And they're renters.
Right.
Absolutely. Renters in Sonoma, but renters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so frame it like people that aren't making a lot of money they're
That's
still
why we have
drinking, but
Enrico
they're either
Valentine.
drinking. If
Well,
they
make
are
$25
drinking
wine.
regularly, they're drinking the what's the
$10 bottles of wine.
apothecary red or whatever. Apothec
Is he
red.
referring to Apothic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or they're just drinking on
Sorry,
fewer
just to clarify.
occasions.
I just wanted to check there for a friend.
Shout out Brene Royal.
Yeah, and I think it's
Deep
also,
cut with that one, Brian.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
also back to the point of, you know, an RTD can or a beer, you know, is $3, $4, $5, you know, that whatever that price point is, you know, even at $10, that's for a bottle, that's still $10. And and if we go back to the previous conversations, I'm more aware of what I'm drinking. I'm a bit more wellness and moderation focused. It doesn't mean I've stopped drinking. Maybe I'm just doing. So why would you put a whole bottle of wine, open a whole bottle of wine, you know, spend $20 on a bottle of wine when there are alternatives? So I guess that's part of it's the sticker shock.
Yeah.
You know what you made me just think of, though, when you said that, is that we talked about having an ingredients label on bottles of wine.
Yeah.
But White Claw and Truly have ingredients listed on there, and people still drink them.
Yep.
And if you read what's in there, it's fucking scary.
Yeah, and that is the challenge I could put out with all of us, again, based here with the careers that we do and the knowledge that we have, is none of us are normal. Well, I know that. I mean, clearly I can see that around the table. But in the sense of being wine consumers, we are not normal.
Right.
And our
We don't fit
knowledge
a
is way too integrated into who we are. So back to the reality, you know, we had lots of nice discussion here about organic and ingredients and pesticides and herbicides. And yes, people are becoming more aware, but most people don't give a crap.
Yeah.
They really don't. If you actually look at data and actually understand most generic consumer behavior for most of us, you know, I'm just thinking out loud, you know, when I'm buying my washing detergent, for, you know, how much attention am I actually paying? Probably that much. It's just the brand I've always bought. I know you're going to hate me. You're going to hate me.
Yeah, you don't work with Jasmine.
Yeah, I know. I can see it. I can see the sharp intake of breath to my left.
Yes.
But I am representing the reflecting the reality of a lot of us in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, we put gas in the car.
Yes.
You know, we're not going, oh, I'm not going to put gas in the car and drive my car because that's not a very nice thing to do for the world. We're all going to go, I've got to get my kids to school. I've got to pick up the groceries. I need to be there. I want to see my friend.
Yep.
And that will take over for most of us, any notion of, should I put gas in the car and drive a very large car, which for me, relatively being European, lots of the cars here are very large. Don't need to be that big. You
All
could
of our
reduce
cars.
your fuel consumption.
All of our cars.
Yeah.
So that, I guess that's my point.
No, I'm plagued with artificial scents all the time, and it's really upsetting.
I mean, I think that also sort of plays into all of these conversations, which is you work 2 jobs to stay in this place that you're living, no matter where it is. You have to feed your kids, and then you've take the time to figure out the ingredients of all the things that you're eating or using in your
life's too short.
Nobody's ain't got time for that shit. Even if and I think most people probably, I think more people than the statistics show know that wow, I shouldn't have those foods and beverages that have 7,000 ingredients and I can't read any of them, but I don't have time to go out and find, or the money to find the alternatives.
Well, it's the time and the money, isn't it?
Right.
And also it's just bloody difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again,
intentionally.
Studies we, done from a wine point of view on kind of organic and biodynamic and sustainable and all of those things just really show that consumers just don't really understand it.
Right. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I think once you make them understand one thing, like if you show them one product that has chemicals or something in it, that just makes them aware to even look at those things. That slowly, I think over time they cut those things out of their life. But
and okay, I'm going to get more dagger looks from my left in the nicest possible way here. But again, testing with consumers, when you do talk about organic wine or biodynamic wine, I have heard from many consumers multiple times, why would I buy organic wine? What is it missing? I think it won't taste as good.
Well, I have strong opinions about people that don't use sulfur.
I am like the voice of reason of normal consumers sitting at the table in front of you. I won't
so
be
we're
invited
cutting
back.
out the good stuff for them.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they do say that.
Yeah.
It's back to the we've all got red
it's the natural
tractors
wine
and we
movement's
just
fault.
put it in
100%.
and there's nothing else in wine.
Absolutely.
I
understand what you're saying, and to me, I feel like the natural wine movement took that away from us because they weren't having to conform that their fruit is good fruit. All they're saying is we're not adding anything. They could still be using herbicide-ridden grapes, and not put that on their label
Raging
and just say,
volatile acidity.
but because they don't have sulfur, it's healthy, which I'm like, if you're eating organic, everything is going to have sulfur on it. And it's also naturally occurring. But natural wine, it's not a lot of it's great, in my opinion.
And even
There's sour beer and kombucha for that. I'm good.
early entrants in organic wine before natural wine was even as prominent as a thing were lower quality, lower priced, and
Fun labels.
and not delicious.
Yeah.
Compared to other other places, price points, and winemaking styles. So I think that people are afraid of that.
The other, last one on this before I probably get kicked out of the room, which is that, again, when you talk to regular wine drinkers about, let's just use organic just as an example here. When you talk to regular consumers about organic, often the other piece of feedback is, but wine is already organic. What could wine possibly have that would make it not organic? They assume that wine is organic.
There's the assumption,
Like they assume it's vegan.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Why wouldn't you? That's what I mean. Seriously, as a consumer, it's like it's grape juice. Maybe they add some water. I don't know. It's in a bottle.
Right. We're gluten free.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put gluten-free stickers on all of our wine.
We can't.
Can't because of the barrel.
There you go.
Is that true? Okay, I'm really ignorant now. I didn't know that.
We had a guest who was very celiac who was telling us about they use some sort of binder in the barrel.
To seal the barrels.
Seal the barrels.
Some sort of wheat based.
Yeah.
And then
Not
and
me.
then you can find non-wheat based sealed barrels. And then you can certify your wine as gluten free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was Alicia Mondavi?
Yeah. Correct.
Oh, cool.
I was like, it's one of the big ones.
One of them. Pretty important name.
Big name, not big
name.
lady.
All right. Post-pandemic destocking. So we all know during the pandemic,
What?
consumers stocked up on wine.
Oh.
They were all staying home. They were getting paid. They were making sourdough bread.
I wish I was doing all those
Yeah,
things.
like I was in a vineyard or processing club.
Banana loaves. There was a rush on, you don't call it baking powder here. I can't remember the American term for it. The rising agent that you use for baking.
Baking soda?
Baking
Soda,
soda,
yeah. Thank you. Baking soda, yeah, there was a rush on it. You know, there would be like on your WhatsApp group in the UK, it'd be like, oh, they've got baking soda in that
Butter
certain
shortages,
store there. And eggs was the other one.
Yeah.
Toilet paper.
So I guess what they're saying is that people stocked up so much wine during the pandemic that now they just don't need it.
Or even just drank so much during the pandemic.
Well, I think, and I also think that that's from like a inventory standpoint.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that's more not so much consumers stocking up at home, although there was some of that. It's much more in the supply chain,
Right.
which is because in many mature and established markets, we were selling more wine during the pandemic, but for all the reasons that we know. So what happened is that there was this sort of false, now, as it turns out, it's kind of expectation that that was the new normal in terms of total volume of wine that was going to be sold and consumed. So then we got this sort of fattening of the supply chain. So, you know, all the way through. So people bringing in more inventory and more inventory. We then had consumption kind of dropping off relatively significantly, relatively quickly, which then means that you've got this double whammy as there's shitloads in the supply chain and inventory and a bit less demand. Right. So the delta between those two suddenly got quite big and scary, which is where we are now.
Well, and I feel like there was like a movement to support who you loved. Like I remember like trying to go have my money go to companies I wanted to make it through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was probably part of it. You know, we weren't selling to restaurants. So I remember that's when we offered our wholesale wines to the market. And those, man, I had some people be like, thank you so much. Are you okay? This is your 4th case this month.
They were sharing it with the neighbors. They were
Yeah, they were sharing with the
We're
neighbors.
having a good time.
But yeah, it was one of those moments where I was just like, wow, they ordered another case. And I'm just like, but like, why wouldn't you when you're getting access to those wholesale prices?
Yeah. Gloria Ferrer was delivering to our house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cases. at a time.
Ian did deliveries during that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, your partner on the podcast had some really great numbers about Australia and the amount of wine that was sitting in tanker barrel and
the
and
wine
consumption
lake
numbers.
ocean
It was like
as it's moving
holy
towards
crap.
and it's good. Yeah, exactly. And it's mainly red wine because have I preempted a point that you wanted to make?
I
there
really
on red
liked how you talked about the emergence of more white wine drinkers and lighter red drinkers, but then juxtaposition is warmer temperatures, which is making riper red
just
grapes,
at the same
which
time.
is so it's kind of like
an imperfect storm or
Totally.
perfect, but the wrong perfect storm.
right.
Yeah, which is, as we, again, you guys around the table know much better than I do, the impact of climate on alcohol level and increasing. And we're seeing that in lots of places around the world, just at the point where the kind of consumer demand is for lower ABV, lighter styles, more refreshing. So you've got that sort of problem. But I think what was interesting about Australia, we were talking about production in Australia there, is and the reason to mention Australia is because they're very transparent as a country with their production and consumption numbers. So it's very easy to understand what's going on, is that the increase in excess red wine is still continuing. So those kind of tanks that are still full of last year's vintage and possibly the one before are still getting full and fuller, if that's possible, with red wine, because that gap is
non-vintage Australian red wine.
increasingly non-vintage. And
can we go back to the pandemic stats for a second though?
Yeah, we can try.
Because
I can try and remember.
I think there's an important point here, which is we had this blip in sales and consumption around 2020 that, and where we're at now, if you take that blip out, aren't we basically even to where we were 2019 as far as...
That's such a good point. We're a little bit behind. We're not quite at 2019 levels. Absolutely, we're not quite there. But you're absolutely spot on, which is the difference between, if we take the COVID blip out, between now and pre-COVID is not as big.
These numbers don't look as scary.
No, as the kind of full doom and gloom of, it's all shit, the industry's fucked, that's it, there's nothing we can do. And actually the data, the market, the consumers are not saying that there is more positive energy.
Yeah, good point, Sam. Thank you.
It's like
I don't want to talk about
it's like he did his
lakes of
homework.
Australian unsold red wine anymore.
Well, and you talk, the turnaround. If you want to plant white grapes and rip out your red grapes, I mean, you're talking about the turnaround. It's
7 years.
steering a big tanker.
Yeah,
it takes a while.
Yeah.
And you, I know, drink mostly white wine in your personal life.
Do how did you know that? Because I've
Brian does his
mentioned it
homework.
before.
So and why is that?
Because I like the taste of white wine.
Right.
Literally, because I like the taste of white wine.
I'm in the same boat.
And working in the industry as I have for so long, kind of almost was embarrassed to say I don't like red wine. Right. I don't like red wine very much. There you go. Putting it out there. Don't really like. I love tasting it because I like to understand the flavors. And from a professional point of view, do I choose to drink it? No. Yeah. I will spend my life and the rest of my life drinking big oaky Chardonnay, and I am a happy woman, and that is what I love. Yeah. So back to your point about the getting the wine list in the restaurant. Right. I'm always up shit creek without a paddle because there's nobody
you and my mom can hang out. It's great.
that wants to drink big oaky Chardonnay. So I am always a woman on a mission for oak Chardonnay.
It's the number one thing of people that come in here. I always ask them, is there anything you don't drink? And I let them know I'm not judgmental, but I don't want to pour you anything you don't drink. And they say oaky, buttery Chardonnay.
Yeah. But do you know what? There's loads of us in the world that really like it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a shit ton of oaky, buttery Chardonnay sold. Yeah. And it's still selling.
There's a bottle called Butter.
Yes,
there is.
Yeah.
Yep. My mother-in-law.
All right, last point. This one I thought was one
we
of my...
finally made it to the end of the bad shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna turn the tables now.
Yeah, totally. We're gonna flip it. Intimidating wine culture. The complex jargon, the varying appellations, traditional gatekeeping associated with buying wine have alienated newer, younger consumers who prefer ease of choice. And I think there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. But it is true when you're looking at a label, they're like, I don't know if I like Grenache or Cab or Pinot, or if I like it from Russian River or Carneros, or should I be buying the 21? Or if they have a 23, should I be... There is a lot of questions as opposed to a normal other like product on the shelf where it's like, that's what it is.
Pre-canned Jack and Coke will be the exact same no matter where the fuck I am.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly. Johnny Walker Black always tastes the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do think though that with the increase in like AI and just like technology, like that's gonna shift because everyone looks up everything now, and like I can't tell you how many times I'm Google image searching what's wrong with my plant and like why isn't it happy, and so I'm sure people are like, I'm eating this, what do I drink?
Which is a big thing, right? The AI SOM is becoming a big thing that in restaurants, and some people use it because they don't want to talk to someone, and a lot of people are using it because they want their Rombauer Chardonnay and they don't want to be judged. And so they love the AI SOM because they can just push a button and then someone shows up with that wine without having to have that conversation saying, hey, maybe I like something that I might be judged for. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that, the complexity of wine clearly has always been there. It is always going to be difficult to understand. The boomers we were talking about had to navigate complexity in wine, but I think if we look back in history, one of the reasons they did boom, not just as a generation, but also with their wine consumption, was because there was a accessibility and simplification that through the brands that came in at that time, which enabled normal people to access wine without having to, have spent a lot of time in France or Italy or somewhere else or on a course.
I think about like the fighting varietals.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Yeah. I was going to say, do you think that's why the Americans went with Cabernet Sauvignon on their wines instead of, just like distinctly putting what the varietal was
labeling, which is obviously what at the same time we saw coming out of New Zealand, out of Australia, out of Chile, and out of Argentina, which was switching to varietal over terroir labeling, which from a consumer point of view is a hell of a lot simpler, because you might have to remember 3 or 4 red grapes, 3 or 4 white grapes to kind of know which ones you like and which you don't. That's a hell of a lot simpler than even just the countries, let alone going down into regionality, sub-regionality, individual vineyard, the layers continue.
Well, and even my dad had no idea that
Bart.
Sorry. My dad had no idea, because he asked me once, he's like, what's your favorite grape? And I said Chardonnay. And he gave me the dirtiest look because of how my mother drinks her Chardonnay and what Chardonnay she drinks. I've spent a fortune trying to convert her. I'm done. She likes what she likes. But I was like,
that's part of it.
Yeah, she likes what she likes. Because she's drinking herbicide, and I want her to live forever.
So that's specifically with
it's her
chemicals.
health. It's her health.
She's drinking a brand that you.
It's not the brand.
Think
it's the
is
farming.
Shitty.
No,
Okay.
her daughter works in an organic farming company.
Okay.
No.
Fair point.
If it was organic, would it be okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think everyone should be able to drink what they like.
Except
what I thought was really
like
interesting.
Sorry, I say that aloud?
I don't like bulk anything. I want to know my animal had one bad day. Whatever. But my dad didn't I said Chardonnay, and he gave me the dirtiest look, and I'm like, Champagne, White Burgundy, Chablis, and he's like, Chablis is not Chardonnay, and I'm like, Google that. They just didn't know because of the way France branded their as terroir, as locations. Chardonnay wasn't mentioned.
Okay, the danger point again of me interjecting.
Yeah.
Does it matter though? Why should somebody know that Chablis is made from Chardonnay? I guess is my.
For me, it's my dad had his presumption of what Chardonnay was from what my mom was drinking, and then completely wrote off the grape, not realizing that there's these incredible wines. Every time I have someone in the tasting room, Brian's trying to find out what they like, which I do as well. But I always tell people, don't write off a grape. There are so many decisions that go into winemaking: when to pick, what to plant, where to plant, what's the oak situation, are you in an amphora, are you in concrete, are you stainless steel? These all have effects. And it's it's like saying the burger at McDonald's is going to taste the same as Cole's Chop House. It's not. And it's how I explained to my parents, this burger's coming from a ton of cows, and this burger's probably coming from one. It's going to be a difference in quality. But that's just,
But also the language of wine is kind of why it's fun for people like us, because we're the insiders.
We're not normal. You're not normal. You're not normal. I am not normal
either. We're also not targeting a normal consumer.
Yes, that's a really good point.
I'd say 95% of the winemaker guests that we've had on this show are also not targeting the average wine consumer. We're targeting a very specific, specialized group of people who give a shit about this stuff, whether it's the way it's farmed or where it's from or the vineyard or the soil or the variety, in a way that your average person who's buying a bottle of wine where people buy bottles of wine, which is, I don't know, I don't buy wine there, the grocery store, I guess.
That's where wine comes from.
Is that where wine comes from? The grocery store?
Just an FYI, you go to a shop and buy it.
It's always came from my dad's cellar.
Amazing,
for most of my life. I don't know. Danielle, I think you have that in common.
I do, yeah.
That's it. And we're kind of like deadheads, we can argue about whether 77 Cornell or 72 Winterland had the best version of Althea. And we can totally be happy about arguing about that.
And then somebody will say,
sit down and listen
Althea
to it.
wasn't debuted until 79, Brian.
See, there you go.
Well, and then other people will walk out of the room and
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
boring.
Yeah.
I'm going to go have an RTD. and listen to the Eagles.
Right. But I think in general, people in the industry have done a better job over the last 10 years. I noticed working in restaurants that we did kind of used to be with our pins and kind of trying to get maximize dollars out of the guests that were coming in to a more casual conversation, just like dining did. It went from, really fine dining where you were using fine dining service, but in a more casual way.
It's a lot of foam. A lot of
Lot
white
of
table, a
foams,
lot of
totally.
foam, a lot
Right.
of white tablecloths,
Right.
a lot,
Yeah.
and the most luxury dining today is almost the opposite of that, isn't
Right.
it?
Yeah, they're
Right.
throwing things on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there has been movement in that way where people are aware of it, that it was an intimidating thing to people. And so we're trying to speak in a different way about wine. And I know we do that here.
Yeah, and I guess it's ultimately what's the objective as to why we're speaking to consumers. If we're speaking to highly engaged consumers who give a crap about all the technical details that we'll nerd on about for, days and weeks on end, that matters to them. If we're wanting to talk to people who are more in the mainstream market or who are occasionally trading up for a gift or a special occasion, then we need to communicate and talk in a different way. So, it depends what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
I just love the aha moment and when you get to be part of it. That's my favorite thing about the wine industry is just
Like what?
When you bring somebody into our little weird
yeah,
fucking circle
when
of
you're like,
deadheads.
oh, you like this? So same grape, same year, different vineyard, and you just watch their mind blow, and it's amazing. It's the best feeling.
Yeah. But that's good. That's why you do what you do, because you actually enjoy that.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. All right, you guys want to get into...
There's good stuff left?
Well, now we're going to talk about top 10 ways to rebound this whole situation.
Good.
All right.
Let's be chirpy.
And let's innovate with no and low alcohol. Wineries must expand their portfolios to include premium de-alcoholized. I can't even say it. I don't want it. I don't want to say it. And
I didn't
low
say
ABV.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say you said it.
Okay. I thought
And
you were
low
doing...
ABV wines. No, I have a problem with zero alcohol anything. But I also have a problem with...
Well, in life, generally, every drink has to contain alcohol.
Well, it's just like with the fake meat or whatever. I'm like, if you want meat, eat meat. If you don't want meat, don't make
have
fake
a carrot.
meat.
Yeah.
Wine has alcohol. If you don't want that, don't drink wine.
Drink Verjus.
Drink grape juice. Right. You can drink grape juice.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I know people are shifting. Every zero alc wine that I've had has been made through the fermentation process, stripped, and then had basically sugar and acid added back into it. And it smells like Capri Sun and it tastes like vinegar. In the ones that I've had.
One good one. It's at EDK. It's a sparkling.
Oh, what's it
sparkling's
called?
different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's a minor exception
Totally.
for sparkling, I would say.
Yeah.
I was just curious, and I was like, this is actually pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want my take on
Yeah.
that?
Yes, please.
I don't think that wine businesses should invest in zero alcohol wine at all. I don't think it's where we should go. Our product tastes amazing, partly because it has alcohol in it, and that's part of the process. And I'm completely with you, which is if you want that taste and that flavor that we provide in wine, it comes with alcohol. If you don't want alcohol, then there are other better alternatives. And I think consumers are proving the point, which if you look at the sales of zero alcohol wine, they're shitty.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
There's a lot stuck in inventory. There's quite a lot of facings in retail stores because the retailers are doing the right thing or trying to follow the trend. Is it actually selling? No, the reality is it isn't. I think, having said that, there's a really interesting area in what's sort of termed as mid-strength. So sort of 8 to 10%, 8 to 11%. Naturally, 8 to 11%,
Right.
ideally, if we can. I think that's an interesting space because that gives us a sort of slightly lighter, fresher style, typically. And, you know, it takes us away from the 14, 15 plus, in some cases, ABVs. But I don't, there's just better options if you don't want to drink alcohol.
It's a great time to be a Cabernet Riesling producer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's just
naturally
better shit
get your
to drink.
10%
Why
alcohol.
wouldn't you go to amazing juices or ferment or you know, there's if you look at back to data.
Shrubs.
If you look at
mocktails.
if you look at the data, when wine consumers switch out of drinking wine to choose something else, number one choice, water.
Yeah.
Number two choice,
Water's
tea
good.
or coffee.
Yeah.
That's what those serves of wine are being replaced with.
Yeah.
So that's the reality. We've already got good stuff to go to.
Yeah.
Let's keep our lovely stuff lovely.
Here we go. I got my water. I got my coffee. Got my wine.
Yeah.
And Bart
Line
and
'em up.
we love Vino Verde because we can
Yeah.
get it. You can it's
can drink a lot of it.
delicious.
Yeah.
It's
like,
gorgeous.
It's lower
It's got
alcohol
that
naturally.
tiny little sort of
Just on the
frizz
tip of your
piquant.
tongue.
Yeah.
You know,
totally.
whatever it is. Yeah.
And it's not expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
fantastic.
it's like why I like Matthias and Rosé. It's delicious. It's 11.5. It's great.
yeah. So that's my take on it.
Okay. Prioritize story-driven labeling. Modern consumers spend seconds scanning the shelf. Producers are moving away from cryptic vineyard maps. I love that. And embracing bold, emotional, and approachable storytelling on labels. I'm kind of confused by that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I agree that we should be telling a story of how we're making the wine or maybe how we're farming. But
Or
on
the
the label,
vintage,
that's a tough road to hoe. I know labels are
Nightmares.
probably, you might have some stats on labels. In general, I've heard that women shop by label more than men and that men shop more by price point. I don't know if that is something you think is true.
Data doesn't necessarily point to that. I have a strong view on storytelling. I have a strong view on labels.
Yeah.
And
Well, this is
this is
this
your
is the place
platform.
to be in a safe
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, dive in.
Okay,
We got
Which
you.
again,
we won't put it out if we don't like it.
Okay, that's good. I don't believe you. You'll
yeah,
just
that-
like highlight
that
the
was-
bit
that
that
was pretty
where
smart
you
not to believe
completely
me.
disagree with me,
long
and
as
then
you
you'll lay into me.
Yeah, as long as you don't piss off Jasmine, you're fine.
It's actually in the employee handbook.
I think that storytelling is really overrated. I think it's done often very badly. And I think it is irrelevant to 90% of wine consumers globally.
And do you
There,
think
I've said
that's
it.
different
No,
for really
put it out
small
there.
brands as opposed to larger brands?
Yes, and again, if we differentiate between higher involved consumers, clearly stories matter.
Right.
That's what they're buying into, is buying into
The culture.
the culture and the essence. They need to understand the story. If we're talking for the other 90% of consumers globally, they just want a drink. No, let me rephrase. They want to relax or celebrate or unwind or connect. And what wine is doing is that conduit to enable them to do that with a flavor that they happen to like and some alcohol added in, which supports that benefit.
Yeah.
Do they care where we come from, how we make it? No, because we've got little red tractors that we all have and we squash grapes. And the main thing to get chosen is that somebody is aware, it's really obvious, is aware of your brand. They can't choose you if they don't know you or recognize you, or they're attracted to you initially because of the name, the heuristics. We're getting into sort of boring marketing crap, but the visuals, the kind of what is the eye-catching bit.
Yeah, kind of like fun. I think some labels sort of imply fun. And if
miss so
people
much
are
fun.
wanting to buy a bottle of wine because they're going to the beach, going to the pool, going to their friend's house, they want like a label that kind of like looks fun.
A classic example of that right now in the US market is Hampton Water.
They had a big thing at Bottle Rock on the way into the entrance. They like took over a house. They had a whole front yard, everything.
Yeah,
they were,
Hampton Mortar
I think they were
classic.
giving out wine.
Yeah.
I do have one argument for that because I do feel like the younger. I agree with you for the most part. I just think that the way what I see is trending is that people care a lot more about where their products come, and if what they care about aligns with what they're buying. People care a lot about more where their money goes. So I've seen that.
I completely agree with you. But I would again caveat that that's a really small proportion of if we're just talking American wine drinkers. Let's just caveat it around that.
Yeah, it's like talking politics here in Sonoma. And we can talk about what we think, and then what else is going on.
We can talk about what's right, and then we can talk about whatever else. I think that we give the label too much credit in its ability to tell the story.
Yeah,
I think that's where you try and, I mean, I'm fairly minimalist in what I want on a wine label from things that we produce. I think, there's a lot of better ways to tell a story about a brand than on the label. The Hamptons water activation taking over a house at a music festival on the way in is a great example of it. Nothing about the label is going to tell you that story, but seeing that involved in something that you want to do, which is go to a music festival, tells that story of that brand in a way that's way more effective than the 3x5 or 2x4 or whatever you have inches of real estate on a wine label, which is insignificant in so many ways, right?
Which is why the key job of a wine label simply is to spark front label, if we're talking, is about recognition. It's got one job, which is people remember you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's it. Whether you're on their wine rack, in their cellar, in a store, or they can see the name written down, we've got one. That's what the job of a label is. Right. It's simply to spark recognition that has some kind of brand association. So it's like, I see Hampton Water, I think fun, summer, sharing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what that label is doing on Hampton Water, combined with the name, which is a bit quirky, a bit silly because it's wine and it's called water, and that all builds.
Surprised that flew on the TTP
I was going to say, I was
scale.
like, how did the TTP go?
Yeah, so you've got all of those kind of supporting it.
Yeah.
Line in pockets.
But I like the 19 Crimes, how they went with the whole thing where it was like a hologram when you put your phone on
augmented reality.
I thought that was kind of cool. Of course, I wish it was better wine in it, but I thought that was an interesting way to sort of draw people in.
You're a huge fan of Martha Shard. We all know. You don't need to.
Hers didn't have that.
You don't have to lie to
Are you
kids.
kidding? If it had Martha like behind bars on the hologram, wouldn't that be amazing?
Busting out.
Or a recipe to pair with the wine that you're opening.
Oh, with like Martha doing a little video, like I recommend this with the,
Yeah.
That would actually be kind of cool. But I don't think most people would care. All right, engaging in digital marketing in communities. Wineries can reach future buyers where they are by using Instagram and TikTok to share behind the scenes content, winemaker stories, and food pairings rather than just pushing bottles.
Get that headphone feedback coming on. Yeah. No.
So I think
we're totally distracted. What did you just say?
Yeah, I know. But basically engaging in digital marketing, things like Instagram, which I think is huge, actually. And
I think a lot of the comms that we put out on Instagram or TikTok, often in wine, it's really boring and unengaging.
Right.
It's just really shit. It's really boring. And wine is fun. It's like, it's not necessary. Well, it is necessary for me as a consumer, but it's not. I think we just lose so much of that fun and so much of the essence of what actually makes can make wine amazing, which is our vineyards and our places, and and I know I've gone about storytelling is not that good, but I think we just miss so much opportunity. It's like I'm so surprised I don't see so much more content of people in their
Actually
vineyard
having fun.
and actually kind of going, look, this is what we're doing today. Look, and here's today, and here's tomorrow, and here's us and this is how we do it, and this is us having fun trying X versus Y, or when we ate it with this, it tasted different, or we've got a red bottle and a white bottle, and we've poured it in, and we've made our own rosé sangria today, and actually it was really good.
Yeah,
right.
Why not? Why can't we do that? Why do we have to just be so kind of sort of pompous about wine?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just take the two bottles of red, a bottle of red and a bottle of white, and pull them into a jug and add some ice cubes and go, do you know what? We've got rosé today.
Yeah.
I suppose it's just that personality, that fun, that the people, the places, all those things we have got that we tell in, I think, really boring ways.
Yeah.
And there's so many fun people and so much we could do with it. So I'm passionate about this because I think there's so much opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I love what Troon does. I love the behind the curtain. This is what we're doing. We're disgorging 1,000 bottles today, and this is like the goggles I have to wear, and like, I think that's fun.
But then I remember the guy. Remember at DTC, our favorite part where they get all the people up on the stage,
real people,
the real people.
Shall I just add that real people?
Real people, not in the
Consumer,
wine industry.
yeah.
And the one guy, remember that he was following on Instagram the story of how they were farming the Pinot Noir for the whole year. And he got like sucked in to what they were, the pruning and suckering and everything. And then he ended up, he bought like 5 cases because he felt like
a part of it.
He almost felt like he was a part of growing those grapes. And so he bought a shit ton of it. But for me, I'm like, I wouldn't watch that. That doesn't sound like fun to me, watching someone talking about pruning and suckering.
Yeah, but if you don't know anything about it, if you're a kind of nerdy personality, that can, it sort of sound like I'm contradicting, but I'm not. I'm always surprised as why don't we have more webcams in vineyards?
Yeah.
People sit and watch webcams for hours, and not that kind of webcam. Sorry, can I just rephrase of landscapes and things? Not
birds and
the
nests.
eagle's nest.
There we go.
Yes, thank
Wildlife.
you. Good save. That kind of webcam.
I mean, that mountain lion that was at Muchas Piedras the other day. Yeah, that was nuts. And then the deer on our back patio.
Yeah. So more fun, interesting content, definitely a positive, less
so
boring
stuffy.
crap.
Even if you're making really good wine and you're talking about how you're making really good wine, we also have, humor is so underrated in terms of the appeal and the memorability from, if we get into the technicals, the marketing effectiveness attributes. Humor and dogs win every time.
But I think careful
Humor and
about
dogs.
what if you have a brand that, you think you're making really good wine and you're afraid that if you're using too much humor, people will think maybe they're not as serious about their wine.
Well, I think then you ought to check yourself very carefully.
Fuck those people.
Yeah, cool. Good point.
So I said the English expression. Check yourself very carefully.
We said the French expression.
And then we definitely want more.
Therein lies our connection and difference.
There we go. But we're having fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And of course, more Judgment of Paris content, right?
But only if the Americans win.
which we did.
I know. Again.
Sorry,
bad
Sam and I have
vintage.
been talking about this. I'm wondering if there's an expiration date where we can just stop talking about the 50th anniversary of the Judgment of Paris.
Yeah, 2027.
Yeah, next year. Year 51. Yeah. You're done. That's it. You can't claim it anymore.
Yeah. For another 50 years, hopefully,
25.
past that. All right. Number 4, introduce canned and RTD formats. So embracing single-serve canned or kegged wine formats makes the beverage highly convenient and portable for picnics, beach outings, and outdoor gatherings. So Sam was pretty smart about this, put out cans and boxes as well. And even we have a canned wine club where we ship to some of the warmer states during the summer.
Mag bags coming
Mag
soon.
bags. Yeah, I'm like, we're about to have
and
mag bags.
Mag bags coming
and
soon.
and
Yes.
why hasn't someone come out with a freaking Capri Sun?
That's
for
what a mag
adults?
bag is. Yeah.
That's a little big for a Capri Sun.
Liter and a half Capri Sun.
What is the data on
Show
like
up to the soccer
Yeah.
game with that,
on-
Coach Mom.
So I work with a company in the UK, a whiskey company, that an independent bottler. They're amazing, and they bottle the most extraordinary whiskey from all around the world. So they're really high end, they're really premium. And last year they launched what they call pocket pours, which are like mini Capri Sun, basically, with drams of whiskies, so that you can try the different whiskies before you buy the big bottles. And they're brilliant for like gifting and, kind of parties and celebrations and things like that. They're a proper premium whiskey independent bottler that take their whiskey really seriously, and they've got these little black plastic pouches effectively called pocket pours. So I think that's a really interesting example of you can be premium and you can still do alternative formats.
I think that
but don't bring those on a plane. They'll be mad.
or to Disneyland.
It was like 8 or 10 years ago when it looked like people were going to shift to these smaller single-serve bottles. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And I thought, holy shit, what a waste of glass.
Packaging,
and I think it kind of it fizzled off. And I think it's just the education of getting people to, if you're going to drink something, especially white and rosé or a lighter style carbonic red, then maybe drinking it out of a pouch isn't such a bad thing. Like if you just want a single serving of some wine.
Yeah, and I suppose why is it okay to drink beer out of a bottle or a can and cocktails now out of a bottle or a can, but somehow it's not okay in some people's minds to drink wine. Producers, I'm talking about, not consumers. Wine out of a can.
Yeah.
Why?
I think there's still this like a romanticism about the whole pulling the cork. I mean, you can say the same thing about screw tops, but you've been at a thing where you had to be a somm, and all the ones that were screw taps were all identical, and all the ones with corks.
4 cases, all perfect.
Yep.
And Ian next to me pulling corks.
Yeah.
Just setting bottles aside, all different variations.
Yeah.
But and that was old Australian red. Yeah. Develop experiential tasting rooms. Shift tasting rooms into immersive experiential destinations that offer food pairings, live music, or even overnight stays to capture local tourism and build long-term brand. I was thinking that when I read it. I'm like, holy shit, like an escape room at the tasting house?
Why
I have to
wouldn't
buy a
you do
case
that?
to get out of here.
No, I'm serious. Why wouldn't you?
I think that's illegal.
Again, back to research, back to data. I always pull it back to this in a very
Please.
boring way.
Thank
But when a study we did a few years ago, based in Australia actually, but I'm sure really consistent in other parts of the world, that you get about 25% of winery tourists, so winery visitors, who don't taste wine when they are there. So let's start with that, which is a quarter of your people showing up. This is in more mid-size and larger size wineries, as opposed to when you're kind of one-on-one appointment at a smaller winery where clearly you're typically going to taste. But just think about that, which is that you want typically people to arrive at your tasting room, whether it's in the winery or not, because the idea then is they become engaged with your brand, they remember you, and hopefully they'll buy some of your stuff and continue to buy some of your stuff. So if we've got reasons for them to come beyond a lineup of 4 glasses, is it okay to say that I think the lineup of 4 glasses and somebody talking at me, I'm not sure how enjoyable an experience that really is for a lot of consumers. I've heard consumers go, even those that are relatively knowledgeable, I find it really intimidating when there's somebody opposite me telling me, and I feel like I should go, oh yeah, that's really nice. And they always go, do I like it? And yes, of course, I love it, because what else are you going to say? No, it's shit. Sorry, you know. And so that, are there other ways that we can kind of positive, energetic ways we can engage our drinkers and our visitors to enjoy what they're doing more with us? It's like, just because we want to sit down and have a lineup of 4 wines because we're nerds and we want to taste the difference and compare them, and does it mean that all of our drinkers do? Discuss.
Yeah, I think the setting and the format of a tasting room has changed. I think Sam was actually really ahead of the curve when it came to his space, that I still see tasting rooms.
Just because
come
it's my
up
birthday,
today.
you don't have to keep saying nice things
Maybe
about
your
me.
birthday was yesterday. I'm over it. That people
I'm
don't
not.
want to go sit in a regular sort of almost like timeshare presentation style tasting.
Really good expression.
You know, or if you do, it's at Harlan where you're going to put up with it because they're giving you access to their $800
amazing wine.
bottles.
Yeah.
And Krug to start
But I
with.
think in general, people want to be comfortable. They want to have music on in the background. They
Well-
want to feel like they're not going to be told they're wrong if they have an opinion on the wine
And be
that maybe
bullied
doesn't
into buying
jive.
or feel that you have
Or
to.
the pressure.
Even at Krug, they're now doing like a matching song that you listen to while you drink the champagne. Like they've been doing that since I moved. So like for at least the last 5 years.
And I'm sure people talk about it after they leave.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah, my
"Holy
parents
shit,
were
it was
stoked."
the B-52s. Yeah. You know what that made me think about was when's the last time you were at a big tasting, like a suckling or
Yeah,
big
like
walk
an
around?
industry tasting.
An
you mean?
industry
yeah,
tasting.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember, but relatively recently.
when I was at the last James Suckling, we did a not just a big tasting at Fort Mason, but there was a couple like what do you call them?
Master
Classes
Seminars.
beforehand. And the whole format of 5 guys up on a stage staring at 60 of the rest of us.
Yes.
I thought, when is someone going to burn this fucking format down? Where it was so... It's
Actually,
like
now you've said that, I'm not... the last one I was at was 10 glasses. I think we had 4 guys on the stage.
Right.
Rather than 5. But very, very similar. And us all sitting there in... what is classroom style, i.e.
Yes.
long tables, literally called
Yes.
classroom style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Why can't we be in a circle with them in the middle and
Right.
them standing up, walking around, actually, you know what I mean?
Some
Some
bongos.
movement or
Yeah.
energy or something. And I thought, someone's got to tell these people they got to stop doing this.
Pass the peace
I like
pipe.
that. I learn a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm always comparing
back
when they're
to the
set
you're
up
not
that way,
normal.
though.
should we just
Well, yeah,
keep-
but
should we just all get signs and badges?
That's
You're not,
true.
I'm not normal.
but also like it's not like we're selling, it's not like they're going on the American tour and then selling out stadiums for this. It's like, there's 60 people who come or 100 people who come to listen to these guys talk about where their wines are and how they're different. And I like to have all the wines laid out and taste them over time because I'm trying to learn about the wines. Like if you're not trying to learn more about these wines and then taste the differences while you have someone talk to you, then that's not your bag.
I don't know. The first one that figures out how to put a bunch of couches in a circle with someone in the middle actually moving around.
I think we just figured it out. Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yes.
And then we could like design and patent like a circular wine sofa for tasting. So maybe it's got like flip up things.
Conversation
We're kind
lounge.
of going
To put your
back to the
glass in.
sunken
Like
conversation
living
pits
rooms?
in
Yes,
the living
It's
room.
very
Yes.
1970s, isn't
That's
it?
basically your living room.
It's
That's
kind
my
of
living
James
room.
Bondy style, sunken
I love a
kind of
conversation
sitting
pit.
room, isn't it?
Without
That's
the
where I'm going.
misogyny.
Yeah.
See, my back
we
is
lose
just
that?
hurting while we talk about
And then
this.
the
I know.
church's
Good
female
couch.
nakedness.
You got to come over.
I want a back to my chair, please. Can you put some easy or some crazy creeks? What are they
Some
called?
Festy life.
You need the back support.
All right. Number 6, focus on
We're only
sustainability
at
and,
six.
and
Yeah, I was about to
organic
say that.
practices.
We've saved the industry, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's
Conversation
6? Tell
pits.
us about 6.
Sorry.
Focusing on sustainability and organic practices. Modern buyers care about the environment, highlight biodynamic, organic, and regenerative farming practices. That adds immense value and attracts eco-conscious consumers. So I think, what segment of the market do you think is an eco-conscious wine drinker?
I'm not going to answer that one
Yeah,
first.
I'll go to the restroom. I'm going to go to the restroom.
Oh, she's run away.
Yeah, she doesn't want
She's
to
run
know.
away.
She thinks it's 100. So
Yeah, yeah. Again, data-wise, if we're just to sort of ground in that for a moment, typically it is consumers, sort of millennial consumers, not Gen Z or not the younger end because they can't afford it. They'd like to, but let me rephrase. Yeah. Are we talking about people who say they care or people who act on that in terms of what they actually buy?
Oh, let's do
those two
both.
are really different.
Yeah, let's talk about both.
Yeah, because most of us, if we were sort of told you can have a sustainably produced product or a non-sustainably produced product, Many of us will go, I'll have the sustainable one, thank you very much. It makes lots of sense.
Yeah.
The reality is when I'm actually running around the grocery store or the liquor store, depending which state I'm in, I'm actually thinking about, kind of, can I get away with hamburgers again for dinner tonight because I can't be asked to cook anything else? Shit, I forgot to text my friend back. Why was my boss so shitty at work today? And I can't remember whether we've got any ketchup. Do I need to buy some? That's the reality of what's going on in our minds, typically, rather than now I need to concentrate and think about which of these producers is sustainably produced when I'm in the grocery store.
Yeah. Which I'm always shocked at how Bonterra isn't like the largest wine company on the planet. Do you know Bonterra?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
They've been farming organically for decades.
Well, isn't that my point, though?
That's what I'm saying is that, and the wines are in an incredible price point. So, like, why isn't everybody drinking it?
Because people
exactly.
Normal people...
Yeah.
When it comes to wine particularly, that is not they don't care. I'll be more careful. It's not their priority.
Jasmine's back.
Yeah, she's back. She ran away. Just listener, she ran away when I started. Yeah, it's not a priority. Yeah. There you go. It's not that they don't care. Some people don't care.
Yeah.
For many, those that do care, it isn't a priority. What is the priority is what do I remember? Oh, I remember I like The Prisoner. I like Hampton Water. I like, insert any brand name. Yeah. It's there. It's convenient. I can pull it off the shelf. It's going to support my relaxation at home moment that I'm buying it for. And it's at $20, $15, $10, which is what I can afford or feel comfortable spending. It's for most people, that decision process, if we've gone through that many layers, is about where it stops.
Yeah. Diversify product lines. To offset lower alcohol sales, wineries can venture into other revenue streams, such as non-alcoholic botanical spritzes, culinary grapes. I don't even know what that means.
Like things you'd eat as opposed to...
Eating grapes.
Oh, or wine-based skincare and health products. Oh, shit, Jasmine.
Oh, Claudel, yeah. I'm not pronouncing it right, but my favorite everything is made from grapes. Yeah. Yeah.
Lee's.
She's all in.
Yeah.
She's all in.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I don't know. I buy it. It's expensive and it's my favorite. Yeah. Isabel introduced me to it.
So we've kind of noticed that here when one of our wine club members got into doing pottery. Mm-hmm. And she said, hey, can I make some spittoons for you guys? And she made them, and then people wanted to buy them. So then she made us more so that we could sell them.
And now that's her job.
Then she started doing coffee cups. Yeah. They're on the top shelf.
Oh,
you can see them.
So cool.
Yeah. No, they're amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
And now she does little cheese and charcuterie platters. And she just makes them
those
herself.
Were rolling trays.
They started as rolling trays for Sam. Then I asked her if she could do something that we could do for cheese and charcuterie. So they're a little bit different.
Oh my God, they're beautiful as well. Look at them.
And we were kind of shocked.
Does she hand make all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. And she asks our advice, and I'm like, just keep doing what you feel like doing. Like, they're selling, they're moving, and they're so lovely.
They are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sam's wife does T-shirts, the tie-dye T-shirts.
His brother-in-law does the hemp cotton blend shirts.
Right.
And then
White Bark Workwear. Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah, that's our merch.
Yeah.
More coming,
apparently.
Great.
Hats and beanies.
Oh, cool. The beanies were the hot item.
Beanies were hot for a minute. Especially those tie-dye ones. The tie-dye ones were not economically feasible, though, unfortunately.
So what you got any opinions on, merch or other items in tasting rooms?
Other revenue streams.
Yeah, I again, particularly for smaller and mid-size, I mean, what you've just shown me here in terms of the pottery is just so beautiful and so lovely. And it's a slam dunk to have beautiful personal merch that fits in with you, because of course what you've got on here is you've got every time somebody uses that very subtle logo, that DBA distinctive brand asset is there, it reminds them of you, and I think I'm not kind of talking necessarily about the sort of Disney museum, we have to go through the gift shop. Exit through the gift shop. But it does surprise me when I'm out and about in tasting rooms that there isn't more merch.
Yeah.
And it's particularly merch that's branded. I mean, even tote bag is stupid, or makeup bag, or, you know, that might be relevant. It might not be. But even it's like, why? Why are we? Why haven't you got beautifully branded to-go cups and things like that? Because when people are in the mood in the tasting room, they're happy. They've had a drink. They're on vacation or a week. You know, they're in that moment of, you know, you surround me by cool shit and I'll start buying it.
Yeah.
Because you do. Because that's how you are. It's like, why do tourist shops work in tourist destinations? Because you're happy. And you go, I really need that really ugly, you know, beaded bracelet, jewelry, insert plastic thing.
For
because because you're happy.
Yeah.
So, but I think this, you know, what you showed me here is amazing because it's kind of genuine and connected. You know, it's that, and that's the difference. But I'm really surprised that I don't see more of it. No. You know, from a margin point of view, but it's not just that; it's the reminder of the brand when the person's home.
I mean, it's all in that telling the story.
Yeah,
in ways that the label can never do.
Yes,
that you have these connections and you build
this
network
beautiful handmade pottery of the lady that now makes this for you specifically with your
shout out Lori B. Pottery.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. So I think we need to think beyond the people come to our tasting rooms because they want to do a lined up tasting of wine, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. That might be part of it. And for some people, we might offer that. But it's like, we're a tourist. We're competing with tourism.
Right.
That's what we are. People are investing their money when they could be going to a museum, going to a restaurant, going to, you know, name lots of other things they could be doing with their time. So what they're doing when they come to us is they're basically investing their time against something else they could be doing with their time that might cost money. Yeah.
And I love extending the experience of the tasting room outside of the tasting room. I think Sandra, who owns the Girl in the Fig, did such a great job with that, with just something as simple as fig jam that someone would buy after they ate lunch or had dinner, take it home. Then they're recreating things that they had at the restaurant. They're sharing it with people who didn't even go on vacation with them, that are now seeing the logo and seeing the fig jam. So the next time those people come to Sonoma, where do they want to go? Yeah. Yeah. It's brilliant. All right. Partnering with local restaurants and bars, building strong on-premise partnerships through sommelier training, winemaker dinners, and tasting events ensures consumers are introduced to the brand out in the community. We do way too much of this.
Yes, we do. Like, it's my happy place.
You keep putting things on the calendar too, man. It's not like
for me. It's
where are we having dinner tonight?
There's an energy flow to it that I don't think, like a larger winery. I don't. Maybe they could, but usually there's a, hey, if we do this, what is our payback?
Yeah.
They want to see a number to number
ROI,
some data that shows that we got something out of it. But I think Jasmine and I and Sam have always talked about a flow of energy. Even when we go out and sit at a bar somewhere, they know that we work at 16600, where they're buying cocktails, ordering food. So then when someone comes in and asks them, where should we go taste? We're like, oh, Jasmine and Sam were just here. We'd send them to 16600. There's something about just
being in front of the people.
It's just a flow of energy that goes along in the community. Even if you can't prove that because we went and did a tasting at the Fairmont, I don't know that we sold 3 cases of wine, but I'm sure we did. It just wasn't that day.
Yeah, and I think, and that's the other thing, which is ROI, you know, getting technical on that is really hard to demonstrate because it comes from multiple sources. So if somebody buys a case of your wine, is it because they visited 2 years ago? Is it because their friend told them? Is it because they visited 2 years ago and their friend told them? Yeah. Is it because they saw you at at the Fairmont? You know, is it because they saw you on Instagram or TikTok? You know, it's probably going to be many of those, and it's that intersection. And so for me, it's about having, you know, kind of picking the ones that instinctively and through experience, you know, are most beneficial.
Yeah. All right, we're almost there, guys.
Phew.
Lord.
Embracing transparency and education. Demystify wine for new wine buyers by hosting guided educational panels and interactive wine tastings that focus on casual exploration rather than traditional snobbery. Now, I know that's a lot of words, but I actually thought about this today. How much
Is this your couch situation?
Yeah.
Well, not just that. I mean, was last year when we did some educational tastings, but it was through the Chamber of Commerce for local servers and bartenders.
Yeah, for the Zin.
But I think in general, just having even if you invite 30 or 40 people here and you just open up a bunch of wine out of your cellar and just kind of talk
Open
to
the
people
conversation.
about start a conversation about Riesling, or even if stuff we don't make, to make people that I don't know, maybe aren't used to talking about wine like that, maybe making them feel a little more comfortable talking about wine.
I mean, I think the stuff that Morgan and Tyler, Morgan First and Tyler Ballier have been doing for 15 years are this. The Wine Riot events, the Rosé Mansion. I mean, the Rebel School of Wine, the book that you wrote, it's all it's not the blueprint because they can't follow that directly. Nobody has their level of creativity or color palette. But that the concept of those things were super educational without any hint of stuffiness.
Yeah, and if you look at the Rebel School of Wine book, what she's done with that is still talk about some of the detail and some of the technicals that we've been talking about today. But what she's done is made sure that it's delivered in such a clear way and using a lot of imagery as, all of the illustrations in the book to support, so it's not too text heavy. Right. So I couldn't agree more with you about the amazing role that Tyler and Morgan have played, both of them.
Yeah.
Which we didn't mention. Jasmine and I will be at Blood of Gods, July 18th, with
another great example.
Elaine Chuck and Brown, Andre Mack.
I just heard about this the other day. I didn't know about it. I heard about it and I was like, that is such a brilliant idea. It's just like
Saturday, July 18th, Walla Walla.
Yeah. Why,
Marcus Whitman Hotel.
Why would we exclude or not include people in the gorgeous world of wine if they happen to be into also heavy metal? It's just like, why are those in people's brains exclusionary? Then why is there no Venn? But of course
beer
there's
and
Venn.
meat only.
Yeah. It's like such a great idea.
Yeah.
You have to report back, tell me what it was like. I've never been.
I'm so excited.
And educational opportunity. I mean, the guest speakers the keynote speakers that they're having alone are like the who's who of the up and coming wine educators. So, all right, thoughts? Any last thoughts? Any last things you want to share with us? You think we didn't touch on?
I want to know more of the red wine we just poured.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's freaking delicious. Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
Try some.
You got to try this.
Well, now I'm scared because you said you don't like red wine.
No.
She said she liked to taste red wine. She just doesn't want to. Yeah.
This is my 2021. This is Jam de Bois. Danielle speaking over here.
Jam de Bois.
2021 Rhone style blend. This is Rossi Ranch Vineyard, organically farmed. 66% Grenache, 34% Mourvèdre, 30% whole cluster. I wish that I could just make wine and people would buy it.
Right?
Because it's good.
I think that's the attitude of a lot of winemakers.
Like,
they
this
just think if
whole
I
conversation
make good wine,
is making my cortisol levels rise.
I don't really
know.
Annoyed you.
No, not at all. I just don't understand how I can do all of this and also live a life full of
joy
and
wine. It's not. Pick the top 2 or 3 things that are going to make the most difference to your business. Is what I would say to anybody. Which is, there's all these things we could be doing. You'll know, and what are the 1, 2, or 3 things that you can do that are going to most move the needle, move the dial.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to do everything.
Yeah.
Does that make you
it's
slightly
a
happier?
hustle.
No, it's a hustle, and I know it's a hustle, and that's okay. It's just like I'm I don't know, like making choices of like, oh, well, you know, people want to know you and they want to know who you are so they can buy from you. And I'm like, yes, but I also don't want to like sell my kids so they'll know I have a family so they will buy my wine. Like,
sell the kids.
I want them to know that I'm a family woman and I'm a mother. But, you know, like if you come meet me, then we can sit down and talk. Like, come give me a chance. And, you know, I'm happy to connect with you. Like, that's where I thrive. But like putting stuff out on, like marketing stuff out on Instagram,
Right.
I'm like,
But I think that's your answer. You just said if you're doing 300 cases,
Yeah.
you should be selling all that within 15 miles of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, by hand,
Right.
personally.
Kind of
Totally.
like I would look at what like Artie Johnson does. Like he is out there hitting up every single restaurant, making all these acquaintances, and like his staff trainings at the Girl and the Fig are amazing.
Yeah.
Like he
Well,
takes all
like,
the air out of the room.
Here's another thing, like in this, so I am doing that, and then people are just like, oh, well, your price points don't work. So then I come down to their price points, and then I'm like, let me come in and do a staff training. Oh no, we don't need you to do that. Like it's just like it's a lot of pushback, and
Gotta be a squeaky wheel.
yeah,
There's a lot of wine out there right now.
it's all right. It's yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of competition.
An Australian lake full.
Right?
Yeah, so moving towards a sea or an ocean, unfortunately. But look, there are positives there. I can't leave it on that note because there are positives. There are things that can be done, and I think it's about the kind of clarity of your product brand distinctiveness. It's like, why are you special? Why is what's in that bottle special?
Yeah.
Can you articulate that in 3 words? And then everything you do is always, does it tick off the fun, happy, joy, or those are silly words clearly, but the equivalent
Delicious.
of and it can't be a flavor word.
Oh, why not?
Mustn't be a flavor word because it's brand personality. We're not talking about the quality of what we've got. We're talking about how people feel when they drink it,
Oh.
how they should feel.
Yeah.
And then if you've got that clarity of how do you want people to feel when they engage with your brand or drink your product, because let's assume all of your wines are really good. But let's assume that lots of other people's wines are also really good. So that is not
I think
distinctiveness,
that's a safe assumption, yeah.
or differentiation. Just going, we're good, we're delicious. No. What is it that makes you stand out like a personality? We get that, and then we get to those words of obsessive, meticulous, fun-loving, whatever it is that you are in terms of your brand positioning. You get to that, and then every decision you make it does that, reinforce that. And then you'll get to go, if I am fun-loving and vivacious, I need to be the front face of every TikTok.
Yeah.
If I'm,
You just got like $5,000 worth of advice right there.
Shall I send
Thank
the bill?
you so much.
Free. You made me think of something just quickly. How do you feel about tasting notes and tech sheets?
Me?
Yes.
How do I feel about tasting notes and tech sheets?
Yeah.
I think tasting notes and tech sheets absolutely have their place.
Yeah.
For distributors, in the supply chain, 100% we need them. Really, really important. For the majority of consumers, the tasting notes we write, I think, are really crap. Yeah. Not for, And I think, but I think we've got AI now and different ways, particularly on websites and digitally. So, why don't we have, when you go into the website, it says, do you want to sort our wines or have our tasting notes, us describe them by boldness to lightness, or by expensive to cheap, or whatever it is, because you can get, so the consume, or from roast chicken to brie, so you can have that,
All the filters.
You can have filters.
Right.
Your AI is magic because it gives us instantly that, so consumers can self-filter and ask how, to determine how they want to receive information. And one day it might be quite technical, and the next day it's, I've got roast chicken.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I heard you talk about wine shops and how people are displaying differently, like lighter reds, deeper, darker reds,
Yeah.
leaner whites. But I never thought about having it like that on a website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so easy to do now, from a technology point of view.
totally.
That you can say, we've ordered it this way and we're describing them this way. But if you want it different, just click one of these buttons.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You guys got anything else you want to ask? No. I think that was great. I think we covered a lot of ground there.
It was
Yeah.
a lot.
All the
And I don't think it was depressing in any way.
No.
I think there's lots of positivity.
Totally. We're all still here.
People are
We're
still
making
gonna-
wine.
yeah.
We're selling wine.
People are still going to drink wine. It's
Right.
not disappearing in our lifetimes.
Right.
No.
We're safe.
Cyclical, like gin and tonic. Like gin.
Or a cocktail.
Like a cocktail. Yeah. All right. Shout outs, anyone? What happened to you guys?
I don't know. You
I think we're exhausted.
your was like way too much structure, man. Went to class.
We're exhausted by the
I know this
structure.
was great. You have no, this was awesome. There was so much information that we got in here, and I'm glad I wasn't sitting in a big banquet room at classroom tables with 4 of you up there telling me this. Instead, just looking you in the eye at our dining room table.
I think we're supposed to do something for DTC shout outs.
Let's do it.
But we don't have you did all this research and backup and background and preparation. We did none of this. I think you go to the website and like early bird pricing.
Are we selling tickets already?
I think so.
I think we're teeing it up. I think we're getting close.
Okay.
I think I've seen some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know you get it cheaper earlier. And yeah.
So in the next,
Less expensive.
Probably in
Less
the next
expensive,
podcast,
sorry.
we'll have exact
Great value.
You'll actually know whether the
info
tickets
for
are on
you.
sale.
I think
It'll
we
be in
can-
the show notes.
I think
That'll
we
be in
can
the show notes,
find out
Barbara. We
later
promise.
today exactly what all the info is. I know it's time. It's kind of hard to believe that once we get done with the Direct-to-Consumer Symposium, it seems like a week later you're
start
already
planning
working
on-
on the next Direct-to-Consumer
Yep.
Symposium. But I mean, it takes a lot of work to put those things together. It's a lot of moving parts. Yeah, which is why Hospice Daron is not doing Hospice Daron anymore.
Less moving parts.
So much
Blackberry
work.
Farm and a cruise ship down the river.
Totally.
Yeah.
Where are you off to now?
I am back to the UK tomorrow,
Yeah. Where do you live exactly?
London. So
Yeah.
heard of it.
London's main home, and then Sussex is where the farm is.
Nice.
So just south of London.
How come we don't have any more like Pretts here in California?
Okay. Brian loves
I
Pratt.
freaking love Pret. Why can't they be everywhere?
I don't know. You'll have to ask
they're
them.
doing
Do
Over
people
near-
in
I
London
don't-
actually, do people in London actually eat there, or is it just like tourists
you?
love it because it's
No, I do.
yeah,
Yeah. If I have to pick up food on the go, that's where I would go.
right.
It's brilliant.
They have them in New York.
Oh,
I have them at airports. And you spend more time in airports like I do.
yeah. I love Heathrow, by the way. I know people shit on it, but I think it's amazing. It's like a mall with with planes.
Airplanes and Burberry. Like, what else do you need in life?
Yeah, totally. All right, cool. Thank you so much for
Yes, thank you.
sharing
Thank
everything.
you
Oh,
for
can
inviting me.
Actually, if people want to listen to the podcast,
Yes.
you want to give them a little.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
yeah.
So the
plug your
podcast.
shit.
Yeah, thank you. That's very kind. The podcast is a question of drinks, hosted by myself and Felicity Carter, and you'll find it on all the normal channels, Spotify.
You guys are great. The way you
iTunes.
work together is
Thank you.
very fun.
Yeah, we
Inspiring,
enjoy
apparently.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Are you drinking when you're doing the show at all?
it. No.
Yeah, you guys are.
It just doesn't sound like
between
it.
us and most podcasts.
You're having a lot of fun.
In a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that
No, it
as a
doesn't sound
compliment.
sloppy.
As opposed to us.
No, you just seem to be having a good time. Yeah, I recommend giving it a listen. I don't recommend a lot of wine or beverage podcasts. Some of them are, a little bit stuffy or whatever. But I like listening to yours,
Thank you very much.
of course.
And thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
And putting up with me
Yeah, thank
and my
you.
opinions.
Thank you for making the journey all the way from London
Just for us.
to hang out with us today.
Just for you.
All right, you guys, make sure to leave reviews, listen, subscribe, tell a friend, or don't. We want to give a shout out to Mark, who was here the other day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Podcast listener, wine club member.
Mark, we've known you for a long time. We still can't pronounce your last name.
You don't want to hear me say it because you know where I go.
But his daughter signed up for the club.
That's
She's
awesome.
born in the 90s or
90, is it one? I think it was 91.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
We'll take it.
Proof.
All right, guys.
Proof of
We'll look forward to
concept.
talking to you next week. Sign up to go to Blood of Gods and then come see us and for Red, White, and Rose.
All right.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh, and go
And-
to Bluegrass
and-
Night,
Thank you.
Passaggio,
On that Friday.
Jam de Bois, Bluegrass Night, whole weekend in Sonoma.
The
Yep.
whole weekend.
We'll probably have 4 other activations that we plan between now and then too.
I know we do. All right. Thanks, everyone.